You are now tuned in to Dumb Jock Sportscast.
What up, people? You're now tuned in to the Dumb Jock Sportscast. We missed last week, so we're on a kind of a 2-week hiatus, but we're back with some news, and we got lots to talk about, obviously, because a lot been going on, So what's been up, man? How's everything?
Everything is good over here, you said, a lot of things have been going on in the sports world, from soccer, football, hockey, you name it. It's been a hectic 2 weeks. So, I'm ready to talk about anything and everything.
Yeah, even basketball. We don't talk about it, but there's been a lot in basketball too.
Oh yeah, basketball. Everyone's moving around in there too.
Yeah, it's crazy. So I guess first up is the women's national hockey team for the Olympics. I guess they got to play all their players, not like the NHL. So the men's team obviously don't get to play their players, right?
Right.
Because the NHL blocked it. But these guys get to play all their players, and they won the gold. They made Canada proud. That's crazy, huh? They did it.
Right. Absolutely.
And they beat USA, right?
Yep.
And that's beating USA in hockey now is better than beating Russia, I think.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's a matchup everyone looks forward to. They always want the states in Canada.
Hockey. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Any men's, women's, juniors, anything is it's a pride thing. As long as you beat the states, you're good.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. Speaking of women's hockey, I don't know. Do you think that they got enough publicity for winning or no?
To be honest, like the whole, even let's just say the Olympics in general, when it came to like the medal games, I didn't even know we were so close to the Olympics being done. Like I just found this year it was kind of no one really knew or paid attention to it. Like no one really. Dude, it wasn't hyped up like, in years before, everyone's like, oh, yeah, the Olympics are this year, or, in 2 years we got the whole summer or winter. But, yeah, for me, I had no idea that, it was like 3 or 4 days away from being done.
Yeah. Well, that's how I feel, because I feel like it's because the NHL didn't let the players go over. So,
right.
And that's, to me, hockey is like the sport to watch.
Right, and no one, without any big name players there, it kind of just gets put on the back burner. No one pays attention, right?
Yeah, and so speaking about these guys, the Canadian team, watch this. So these guys wore masks. Now, there's to me it's like they wore masks, okay,
right,
to play a sport. I'm wearing masks going on the bus or in public right now during a pandemic is fine. But when you get the players that are in top shape to block their respiratory system while they're playing a professional sport, I think that's a little crazy,
Right. And just go ahead.
Imagine wearing a mask playing a sport. That's hard. It's already hard enough on your body and your lungs and everything to play the sport. Never mind cover your mouth, Well,
exactly. And I'm glad you brought that up because, I know we here on this show, we're not getting into the politics and all that, crap and everything like that. Everyone believe what you want to do. But as far as this goes, I hear what you're saying because, you condition yourself to,
and you're sweating on each other.
Exactly,
Yeah.
And you watch an NHL game, and they're not wearing the masks or anything. I get you on that. Now, as far as I think this was more so brought up because I know it was one of the European women's teams. I think it was Sweden or Russia. One of the women's teams. They boycotted. Like they were like, we're not going to wear a mask.
Yeah.
And then I guess like the Olympic Committee or IIHF or whoever it was, they said, no, you have to wear a mask or you basically are forfeiting your matchup. And I think it was against Canada.
Oh, I thought it was a China thing.
Well, that's what they're saying is because it's in Beijing, right? So it's kind of COVID epicenter. But I think that's what this Russian or, Europeans women's thing was, we're only staying in locker rooms where our team is. and so forth. Like they're doing all the protocols, so why do we have to wear a mask? Like you said, we're on the bus together, we're sleeping in the hotel together, we're practicing. Why do we have to wear a mask as well?
Dude, they're in the corners together, they're sweating on the opponents,
Yeah, like I think that was their thing, and I think they're just doing it as a precaution because of what happened with the juniors, with it being, every team got it. But think back to December, November of last year, it was a lot worse. I think COVID, situation then, as opposed to where we are now. So I say what you're saying. I agree. I don't think the masks were really needed at this point.
No, I don't. I think that's overkill, and I think it made the whole epidemic look kind of stupid. But that's just me. So on the other note, USA and Canada's men's hockey team did not qualify to medal or nothing. This has to be the first year that Canada didn't medal, huh?
It was something like that. It was like, it's been like, I don't know, like, I think I'm just going to throw a number out there. I think anybody can correct me. I think a minimum 15, 20 years, like Canada hasn't advanced to like the medaling round. And same with the States, I think, because the States medal usually with the Canada, like one or the other are always in there. Yeah.
And it's like, so Canada lost to Sweden, which was a 2-0 score. And then USA lost
to Slovakia.
Comeback win to Slovakia, a team that has never won ever, like any medal. But this year was Slovakia's year. They finally got a bronze, and you know who they beat in the bronze medal game? Sweden. So it's like, it's kind of I see where people are like saying, oh, Canada this, Canada that, but you got to look at it like this. Those European countries, like they all play in Swedish Elite League, the KHL, and so they're all professionals. The NHL players are all the Canadian ones. But do you think that they could have got AHL players that were better than the ones that they picked?
I mean, they still had, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't Owen Power go with them?
No, he didn't. I think only
Owen was with them.
Yeah, and they had that Ho-Sang guy or whatever, the Leafs prospect.
Yeah.
And everybody is saying, because he's supposed to be like one of the big prospects that we have, and everybody's saying that he was actually good, but his players were just trash. See, I didn't watch it, so I can't really tell you.
Well, even then, but remember, like we brought up, I think it was 2 weeks ago or so, we're talking about what Canada's roster was going to be in here. So you did, to a degree, have some veterans.
Eric Stahl.
Yeah, like you had players there who had played at, like you said, you look at the Swedish leagues, the super elites, where they're pretty much all-stars are their veteran, like it's their NHL. We still had that experience. It's not like we threw a bunch of misfits and say, okay, go represent us.
But we didn't. We had Eric Stahl, which is damn near 40, and he's way over his prime.
No, but that's why you have the leadership.
Yeah, but these guys had actual, like, professionals.
Oh, come on. That's like saying, you want to compare it to the Swedish league. Well, that's like saying, dude, Mario Lemieux, where were you?
No, but it's like this. Swedish league, nowadays in the KHL, those players that play on them, half the players that play on the national team don't even don't even play in the NHL. So you know what I mean? So all of their players play there because a lot of them, like if you think that there's not better players in the KHL than the NHL, you got to be crazy. There's definitely
there are absolutely. Players. Why do you think some of the NHL players choose to boycott their contract and go to the KHL? Because they know it's better there.
Yeah, and they get paid more money, probably.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but I don't know. And the USA, they lost they were leading and they lost to Slovakia. To me, Sweden. This is gonna be contradicting a little bit because Sweden is a team that you lose to because they're a good team. They're usually a good team all the time, but this year was a little different because the NHL players weren't there. So Sweden has a lot of NHL players, so they were kind of in the same boat as Canada, and they shut us down. And then USA lost to a team that never medaled ever.
Oh my God! Keep bringing that up.
Yeah, but then you got to look at it like this because Sweden actually got beat by Slovakia. So you can't even argue that point, So it's like
no, exactly.
it's hard,
It was just
embarrassing for both teams.
It's like you said, it was Slovakia's time to get a medal, but you keep wanting rubbing that in my face, you want to rub. But I would just leave you with this on that note. What country lost to Latvia in the Olympics?
Who knows?
You lost to Latvia. I was a young and I remember that game.
Who knows? Who knows? I don't even know where Latvia is. No, I'm
There
joking. Have you heard any NHL trade rumors?
As far as the trade rumors, we're getting closer and closer to the deadline. I think we're only a couple of weeks away from it. 2-3 weeks, maybe a little bit more. I mean, you with the Maple Leafs trade that we just had yesterday, right? They just it's starting to pick up on who can go where, who's on the move, who's staying put. The biggest name right now I'm still hearing is, from Philadelphia, Claude Giroux. I'm hearing, and he's narrowed pretty much that he wants to go to Colorado. I'll touch base on that a little bit later on because I know we have a topic, as far as franchises and everything like that we're going to get into later on. But, as far as that goes, I'm not hearing too much or seeing too much moving. I think we're still maybe by the end of this upcoming week, we'll really see because I think this is going to be the week where teams make the push and they'll know, okay, are we going to make the playoffs? And if we're not, who do we start moving, right?
Yeah, so I think so. We got a column from the hockeywriters.com.
Right.
And this one's they're regarding a bunch of teams, right? So we'll go through a few of them. JT Miller, the guy, the GM says he's not going to just deal JT Miller because the media has to say so. But I think they're looking to move Brock Besser.
So I don't see that. I keep hearing people want to move, like Canucks to be a mover. I don't know why you want to move that team. I know they're very stagnant. Like they always have high expectations every year. Like everyone always thinks, oh, this is Vancouver's year. They're going to finally make the playoffs. And they're just always sitting at like that 8 to 12 spot by the end of the season. So I think there's something there that's missing, but I don't think you need to move a big name like a Bosner or JT, even JT Miller. I think I think it's honestly for Vancouver. I'll just leave it quickly. I think it's a coaching thing. I don't think the right coach is there.
Don't you like kind of wonder what's wrong with this team because they got all the tools.
That's what I mean. Like I think if anything that's holding them back, I think it could be the goalie. I think Demko is not.
Remember how good Elias Peterson was?
That's what I mean. You got Peterson, you got Quinn Hughes, you got Brock, you got Bo Horvat. I think the pieces are there. I just think it's Thatcher Demko is not the goalie that everyone thinks he is, and I don't think the coach is the right person to be leading that team. I think that is what's holding them back, and I don't think the head honchos there realize what's going on. I think it's more player based.
I think if that's the rumor that they're looking to sell people, if I'm any team, I'd be going after Quinn Hughes because I know if he's on a different team, he's turning into a baller.
Yeah, absolutely. And I agree with you on that 100%. If Vancouver's going to be a seller and it's anybody's available, just tell us what you're offering. Yeah. Absolutely,
And dude, Brock Besser's good too, man.
Absolutely, yeah. He's a good player. They got some good forwards, even some defense.
What do you think about this? Quinn Hughes, Brock Besser for Mitch Marner. Are you with Leafs Nation and saying never move Marner, or would you do something like that?
I'm on the fence with that, and Leaf Nation, you're watching all that. I know that. I will say I am a Marner supporter with you guys, especially the fact that he's heating up right now. He's starting to be the Marner.
You got him in your pool.
Yeah, there's my support for him. But if for a trade like that, you get the D-man you need. You get Hughes.
Yeah, you get
absolutely
if we got Hughes and a Brock Besser, because let's face it, Brock Besser had that big all-star name, and now he kind of swindled down, right?
That's what I was going to say. Is Brock is not going to be your Mitch Marner, but you balance that off by getting Quinn Hughes.
Yeah, that's and I think maybe evening it out, like the defense area, like we already. We'll get into the Leaf trade, but
throw out maybe Justin Hall there, and maybe a draft pick or two, and bang, you got your trade right there.
Yeah, and I think something like that could happen, but obviously everybody knows that Leafs won't trade Marner because Dubas, Matthews, they're all boys, right?
Yeah, so, exactly. It's not
So that's Georgiev. Rangers are ready to move this guy. What do you think about him as a goaltender? What team do you think?
With Georgiev,
number 2, right?
He's behind Igor Shurkston or Serkiston, whatever you want to. But they're both European. As far as Georgiev goes, I think he is talented. Absolutely, there's a reason they have 2, young goalies, or I think he's more suited like Georgiev. I think he's suited for maybe a year and a half in the AHL. Let him build up his confidence again and go from there. But let's just use Vancouver again. Like I said, Vancouver's goaltending is not the greatest. If they could swing something and get Georgiev, I think Georgiev could be a starter there. Yeah, I don't think it's a matter of him being bad. It also could be like we've touched base the last couple of weeks. It's New York. It's the media. Everyone's watching it.
Do you think like a team like Edmonton would be looking for a depth in net?
Edmonton for sure. Edmonton's going to be a big player, I think, in the goalie market by the trade deadline. They're still going to be looking for a goalie, and
I think that's the thing they're missing is goalie.
If it comes down to a move for Edmonton or Vancouver goalie wise, I could see Georgiev going to either or. It's just what are you offering? Because he's a really young player. Like I said, he could be, if he can give his confidence and stats and everything up. Yeah. This is a goalie that could be a Velasquez or Tuukka Rask. He could be one of the, like I said last podcast. We were talking about why is the Europeans becoming a goalie factory. He could be the next one in line.
Yeah, especially all you need is new scenery sometimes, and you can pop up.
Exactly. That's what I mean. It could just be New York is that market where it's too much for him, right? Too many eyes on him.
He makes $2.5 million, and so
it's not a massive hit.
Yeah, so they suggest that Detroit Red Wings Thomas Greiss or Vancouver's Jarro Halak could be better options to back up Shesterkin. Shesterkin.
There you go. You'll get it out.
Yeah, all the damn Russian names. No, but so they want to go after a Thomas Greiss.
Yeah, they want a more affordable backup, basically.
Yeah.
They don't want to be paying. Yeah, because I don't know what obviously I'm not a bookie and don't work for the Rangers. Yeah. I don't know what Shurkston makes, and I don't know what Georgiev is going to make, after this year. But if you can get a backup goalie, replace Georgiev, and let's say you're paying, like you said, a Greiss or a Halak for $500,000 the rest of the way, why not?
Yeah. And Edmonton's backup goalie probably isn't up to their kind of level either, probably.
No, exactly.
Maple Leafs won't have Veechkin. No, I'm joking. Ovchinnikov, because I guess they signed him. He's from the Russian league or the ELC, and so the Russians. So they actually loaned him back to the Russian team that they signed him from because they canceled his contract.
Yep.
So they terminated it with Sabir Novosibirsk.
Come on.
I'm not good at Russian. But so he's on the Leafs and he's supposed to be a highly touted prospect. And now they won't get to play him right away. Do you think this is a W for the Leafs or what?
That they won't have him right away to play?
No, like that they got a nice young guy from the KHL for basically free. It's hard to say.
It's hard to say. That's I mean, I think it's too early to make that call. I mean, if he ends up being a steal, let's say he's like a Michael Bunting, a no name. Not that he's a no name because he's a highly touted prospect. But you know what I'm saying. With prospects, you never know what you could get with them. I mean, you could get a freaking Jordan Eberle, or you can get a Veechkin, let's just say, or Crosby.
Yeah.
You don't know until they're on the ice. Or
playing. You can get a Nick. What's that guy? The Russian dude that was. Remember that guy for the Oilers? He was number 1 overall.
Yeah, that's who I'm trying to think of. I can never remember. We tried to remember last time who it was. Yeah. But yeah, I know who you mean.
Or Nikolai Giordiev. Nikolai Giordiev, he used to play for Columbus. He used to be a highly touted, and he was one of my – I used to love the guy. And then he just never pulled it off in the NHL, But the KHL could have meant technically – like he's technically destined to join the Marlies, it says, this season. Because there's no immediate plan, and that's obvious, It's just depth, and for the Marlies in the future, probably. That's all that is, probably.
Well, yeah, exactly, and it's just. I'm listening to. I'm just trying to see if I can figure out what that guy's name, because that's going to drive me up the wall. Is what that player's name was.
Yeah. But the next one is the Oilers need to replace Jesse Puliarev.
Yep.
Puliarvi. How do you say it? Yeah.
Yeah, you're saying it's one of those European names again,
That's not good news because I guess he's was starting to produce again, and it isn't clear. But Puliarvi spot on the top line alongside Connor McDavid and Zach Hyman need to be
Neil Yakubov.
Yeah, Neil Yakubov. Yes, but so. He actually got injured. It was Kyler Yamamoto, but so I guess he got injured, and now they need another guy.
Yeah, he blew his knee out or something like that, or it was like the day after you went on your hiatus there, but yeah, that was like the big news last week. But yeah, he's usually with Leon and McDavid here and there, when they're mixing up the lines, and he's I'll put him at a 35 to 45 point getter, but he's a grinder. At least I watch him play, he's not afraid to get into corners and dig it out, or crowd the crease, anything like that. I think he's an underrated player. He's kind of like a Michael Bunting. I view him as.
Do you think that the Oilers are back? Do you think? Well, it's not like they were anywhere before.
Were there.
Do you think that they're back to their winning ways and maybe make a push for the playoffs, or do you think it's a little too late?
I'm glad you brought up that last point just there. They're winning games. They're on these 3-game win streaks, then lose 2, then 3, lose 1. Win. But I think you're right. I think it's going to be at the end of the season. I think it's going to be a little too late for them to make it. I think they're going to be sitting at 9th or 10th come the end of the season, and this seems to be the issue all the time with the Oilers. Every year, it's always a 9th or 10th place finish. Same with Vancouver. Those two teams always make that last-ditch run, and it's just they're too far back.
Yeah, so
Ben Sherratt.
So Ben Sherratt, actually, the Habs are trying to move this guy like crazy, but everybody keeps backing out. So the latest team to back out is Calgary, because they said they can't afford him. Then the Leafs have been actually a big believer in a lot of people's eyes that they're going to end up with this guy.
This is who they want.
But the professionals say that he's not the number 1, 2, or 3 spot on their list. So they're trying to get better players before this is like their last resort. Yeah. And I agree with that. I think if you want to have a good all the Leafs are missing is good defense, and that's been like that for years. So if you get this guy, that's not telling me that you are fixing anything. I don't think you're trying to get better with this guy. I don't. I think if you want to get better and show that you mean something, go after somebody else, a young guy, maybe, I don't know, somebody else. So that's for sure.
See, I was talking with the Leaf Nation and this afternoon on this, and I made the comment of, and I got grilled for it. The only thing is, Toronto does not make big splashes in free agency, and you do not hear the big moves that you think they do. Like, what was it? 3
Tavares.
weeks? Well, yeah, but look at,
that's the
you know,
only
when has he been, you know, healthier? When has he been really producing for you guys? You know, you
Dude,
got.
you know me. I've always said trade Marner, but I actually forgot about Tavares because he's always injured.
Because he just
And
floats there.
I'd rather trade Tavares, our captain, make Matthews or Riley the captain, and trade Tavares, and maybe we could get a Quinn Hughes and a Brock Besser for Tavares.
Yeah,
You know?
but that's what I'm saying. Like big name players that you have, you know, brought on, you know, they haven't panned out the way, like, you had Joe Thornton, you know, a couple years ago. Tavares, you know, you had him. You brought on, you know, you bring
but these
over
guys
Frederick Anderson. You know,
was like
they're
40.
all players. They're just, to me, you don't make that big move.
Hey, Joe Thornton was 40. Frederick Anderson was actually one of the best goalies when he was on the Leaf in the whole league for a while.
Anybody can look good on the Leafs, though.
No, but our defense is the worst.
So right, but even then, that's what I'm saying. Like, you're not going to make the Quinn Hughes move, the John Klingberg, the Marc Giordano move. You will not do that. Kyle's not going to pick up the phone and say, I'm going to give you so-and-so, and 3 picks to get that defenseman that you need, unfortunately. And that's what's going to, again, send the Leafs.
Leafs Nation is going to kill you.
I'm just telling you how it is. I'm just telling you straight up. The Leafs do not make the right trades. They're all bad trades in the last couple of years.
I don't know. I think the best trade that we made was Jack Campbell for Frederik Andersen. I mean, I think not Frederik Andersen for who did we trade when we got Jake Muzzin and
because he came from LA. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but those were good. And I think Frederik Andersen for Peter Mrazek. I think that was a good salary dump.
But you know what? Let's just talk about Jack Campbell for a minute.
Yeah.
Look how he's been the last month and a half. The guy's falling apart, and a lot of people are thinking he is not the goalie you guys think he is. They're saying, do we really re-up him?
He is. Our defense is not good. That's the problem.
Okay, but give the defense some slack. You know, Campbell's had some good games. Like, I know you were probably still away, but Thursday, Campbell was lights out, great. You know, Vezina style goalie on Thursday, and then look at last night.
Last night they got whomped, eh?
Exactly. This is a team that is not going to win playoff series.
You can't expect a goalie to be there every game.
No, absolutely. No, you're not. No, fair enough. That's a fair enough point, man. But this Leaf team right now is not built that if you get, like, somebody brought it up this morning, let's say the playoffs start, you know who you have first round? You have Tampa Bay that first round. You think you're going to go goal for goal with Tampa Bay? Absolutely not.
Oh, we'll go goal for goal, but we won't go. Actually, they got a better
goal. You're not going to go. You cannot tell me that Leaf team can score 4 or 5 goals every night or every other game with Tampa Bay. You're going to get rocked.
Hey, it depends. If Matthews scores 4 or 5 goals, I believe it. But as far as the rest of the forwards,
that's what I was going to say. Where's your forward depth come playoff time?
No, but what did I tell you? Remember, I told you that we need forward depth, and you're like, "Oh, why do you need more forward depth?" I'm like, "Because we don't have any natural goal scorers. We have Matthews, and then once you take Matthews out, who else?"
Okay, but now you're balanced because you're saying you don't have forward depth, but you're saying your defense is a concern. So
because it's regular season though. Regular season hockey, we have all the playmaking. It's different kind of hockey. You can kind of sling passes all the time. Kind of play like loosely and stuff.
But that's what I'm saying.
Once playoff hockey comes, you need forward depth,
right?
You need grit, and you need defense, hard-nosed defense, which then translates to your forwards getting more time on the puck. So that's why you need. That's why you need forwards. I mean, that's why you need defense.
So you don't even know what you're talking about.
No, I know what I'm talking about. I just told you. You got to listen a little faster. This guy's a Habs fan.
Well, you're talking to me about the Leafs. I'm falling asleep here now.
So the next one is Fleury. Where do you think he should get traded to? Because he came out recently and said that he would like to play on a contender and have one more chance to win a cup, even though he's
kind of. I put Fleury as he's done his time. He's not the Fleury that was winning the cup with Pittsburgh and everything like that. I think he's good. He's good enough if he's put on let's just use Tampa Bay, a team that can put up, like I said, 4 or 5 goals a game, and he needs to just let in 1 or 2 goals. I think that's where he goes.
That's what I was gonna say. Do you think that it'd be since he's an OG of the game and he's respected in his craft? Do you think it'd be nice for the team maybe to cancel his contract since they have no chance, and then him signing a contract minimum with the Tampa Bay Lightning or maybe a team that has a better chance?
because then do you really value him or respect him anymore if he just if he just gets his contract canceled or waived and he goes wherever?
Let's be realistic. A team that is making the playoffs right now cannot afford to have Andre Fleury as their goalie. He makes too much money.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so the only way for him to go on a team, he could be a huge help to the team, any team. Like if you went to the Leafs, if he did that and went to the Leafs, that would be huge for the Leafs. Him and Jack Campbell,
right?
Like, and it'd probably end up obvious to me. It'd end up being Marc-Andre Fleury as our starter.
Right? Absolutely. I know what you're saying, but like you said, being realistic. If he gets his contract, canceled and everything, like that, I don't even think a playoff team even gets a chance to take a sniff at him. I don't think there's going to be any loyalty by the league saying, let one of the playoff teams grab him so he can get one run, because you're right. No team is going to want to face a hot Fleury, because if he gets hot and he plays like the Fleury he is, absolutely. He can come back and bite you in the ass. Absolutely.
Yeah. It's like this at the same time. No team owes him anything to give.
No, and that's what I'm saying. No, the league does not owe him hey, let him go to Tampa Bay, let him go to Washington, let him go to St. Louis so he can get another cup. No.
This comes back to Las Vegas. They did him dirty.
Absolutely. He got him in the playoffs the last couple of years with Robin
almost won the cup.
Letner. And he got dirt. And last year with the member, he made the post of the knife in the back.
Yeah.
That's
how it is. Like, think about it. Like, damn, and he's a legend, and that's a dirty ass franchise, but it's in Las Vegas. What do you expect?
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm just looking briefly right here at the teams, like standing wise right now. Teams that could possibly afford him or maybe a player for him. And really, the only 2 teams that I'm looking at right now that could jump in on him if they could make it work cap wise is Edmonton or Nashville. Even those are the 2 teams I see.
Yeah, cap wise, no top team can do it.
No, you're looking at a wild card or a team on the outside wanting to make a push for it.
Yeah, Edmonton. And if you think about it, why wouldn't Edmonton throw everything? But Edmonton, then again, I want to know what their cap space is, because they got guys on contracts there, boy.
Well, that's the thing. What can people afford right now? That's the thing. Unless he's going to take a massive drop, like he says, okay, we'll sign you, or if it's a trade and sign kind of deal.
Yeah. Like what they'd have to do is, that's what I'm saying, trade and then cancel the contract and make a new one.
Yeah, absolutely, right.
Especially if he wants to be on a contender, because the contenders, let's face it, if they're trying to bulk up their team, sure, you're adding a goalie, but usually teams are trying to add some scoring and some defense too. They can't just throw it all on goalie.
Well, that's the thing is like you said, 1, cap space, 2, where's your biggest priority? Is it goaltending? Is it scoring? Is it defense? And Edmonton, we'll use Edmonton because, like you said, Fleury could very well end up there. I don't think he will, but if he were, is he going to be that big of a difference that he's your piece that makes him finally get into the playoffs? I mean, they're in the playoff spot right now, but would he be able to hold that fort down? I don't know, because I mean, we're going to bring him up in a little while, but look at Tuukka Rask. He comes back and he wasn't the same Tuukka Rask.
Yeah. Well, goalies sometimes age a little. Their careers get cut short a lot,
Well, exactly. And here, hang on 1 second. You were asking Edmonton what their cap is right now. They're $7 million over the cap.
They can't do it, eh?
No, they can't do it. I mean, because they're sitting at $88 million right now. I mean, I'm just looking at teams who are in the playoffs right now, and like you said, I don't see any contenders are players right now who can. Sorry, actually, no. I'll take that back. It's who I said would be the other team, Nashville. Nashville's got $10 million in cap space right now.
Yeah, and Toronto has like $2 million, and then that's not enough to have Fleury. And they do need a goalie. Like I'll tell you, they need a backup goalie. If they had Fleury and Campbell, it'd be pretty good. But I mean, that's unrealistic.
Well, yeah, exactly. You know, I mean, almost every team I'm looking at right now, for at least the contenders, everyone's in the red right now.
Yeah, everybody. Yeah,
everybody, or they're in that like 100,000s. There's no 5 million, 6 million, 7 million of flexible space.
No. Leafs are only at 2 million right now.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You know, they might have gained a little bit more after releasing, or once they release Zingle today, or whenever they plan to release them. But
yeah. So we're going to move on to that trade right now, actually, because that's a good trade, huh?
No, okay.
So we're here. So we got Zingle for we got Ryan Zingle, Ilya Labushkin for Nick Ritchie, and we got 2023 third round and 2025 second round. So my question is, so obviously they moved it for the defenseman, the Labushkin guy. That's what the main trade is. So Ryan Zingle is probably a guy that's never gonna go to Toronto or even see Toronto unless if he makes it past waivers, because he just got instantly put on the waivers.
Yeah.
So if he makes it on the waivers, he gets assigned to the Marlies. He'll be another trading tool.
He will. I don't think he's going to be playing for Toronto at all.
No. I don't think. I think it's just a business move, and it sucks because, like I said, a nice forward depth would have been nice because he might be better than a Spezza down the road. You don't know,
right?
And because he's a center, right? And
he plays natural. I think he's natural position is center, but he can play on the outside too.
And they picked up Adam Brooks to the Leafs, and they placed him on waivers. But I think he
lost
got picked
to Winnipeg. I think it was right.
Yeah, his hometown. So I don't know. I don't know. I think hopefully this Ilya Labushkin kind of pulls it off. Even though, if you're going for defense players from the worst defending teams like Montreal and Coyotes, is that really an upgrade from what we have? I don't know. We'll see.
Right? And I'm hearing from Leaf Nation. They were happy with this trade because Labushkin. They said this is the type of defenseman that they wanted or Toronto needed because he's a stay-at-home defenseman. Right. But you and me were talking about it 2 weeks ago. We don't, Toronto does not need a stay-at-home defenseman. They need an offense-generating defenseman. They need
I said they need a hardcore defenseman. I said they need somebody like that. But I think that this guy. I said they need a top 4 defenseman.
Right,
that guy's not a top 4 defenseman.
No, that's what I'm saying. You have your chance at Klingberg, Giordano, anyone. You're saying that you much rather Labushkin over those guys? Come on now, like that's not realistic. And
I'll say this:
everyone's crying this out as this is a cap salary move. I call bull on that.
I don't think that we need Johan Klingberg because he's a giveaway artist. He's a puck moving defenseman. We have Morgan Riley. We have these puck. We need a guy that sits there and plays defense, not a guy
you have Justin Hull. You have
we have Justin Hull
and all these defensemen you have, and I touched base on this 2 weeks ago with you, and I did. Your defensemen suck. They just plain suck.
No, we have good puck moving defensemen. We have like Jake Muzzin. I can see him leaving. If I was the Leafs, he's unrestricted. He's a UFA at the end of the year. I would trade. I could see them dumping his salary and getting a good defenseman. Now, like him and Justin Hall, like they have this guy. They have Rasmus Sandin. If they got, let's say, I don't know, anybody. I like the guy Severson. Like he's a young dude. Or the other guy from here, from Arizona.
Oh,
Chilla.
yeah, I know. Jake.
Yeah, like why? That's
Chikura,
who.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the guy that we should have went for. Not
That's what I mean, though. Why are you? That's what I'm saying. Make those moves. Don't make these salary cap asinine deals like this, which really I don't think you got any better. I really don't. I think you got worse from this deal.
Let's just say this: we have to make these small moves to make something big. Because if we dump all these guys,
you guys are in fantasy land. You're not going to make any big moves. Trust me,
we will. Yeah, we will, and you will see.
We're Arsenal Gunner fans here, and we know we don't make moves.
Okay, speaking of teams, now let's go to Stars recap.
All right, let's go. Come on, I know you guys are going to rip me apart.
Now let's go. No, at least nation. So here's the Dallas Stars. So this is the Dallas Stars, everybody. This is this guy's team here. So we're gonna check it out. So the last we'll just look at the last 5 games, okay?
There we go.
So actually, the Stars won all of them. You? Oh, damn! Look at them, except for the one Avalanche.
I was going to say, except.
Yeah, so you beat the Blackhawks, which are struggling, but you beat the Avs 4-1. But they just previously beat you a couple nights before that, 2 nights before that.
Yeah.
4-0. But you caught up and you won the second game. Now that's a huge win to me.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. That team, Colorado, you brought it up 2 weeks ago. You brought it up. You said, who's Dallas really got a rivalry for? And I said, I really couldn't give you one. I think honestly, that seems to be the games that Dallas always shows up for. And it always ends up something like this. It's either a thrashing and the team split each other. Like, we lost 4-0. And then, like you said, 2 nights later, we return the favor, or we play extremely close with them. I always look forward to the Av games, at least as a Stars fan. I love them.
If you look at the other 3 games in the top, the last 5 games, they're all 1-point games.
Exactly. And, they're all teams that are kind of chasing or in that playoff spot. I mean, like I said, Predators are in the playoffs right now. The Jets and Blackhawks are struggling, but they're not out.
Yeah. So it's pretty
maybe
crazy.
Chicago, but still, they're still hanging. They're not getting bashed around, 7-0, 3-0, 5-0, right? They're playing.
So we got.
Look, they're right behind the behind the Jets.
So the Predators, right?
Yep.
Are above them in the playoff race.
Right.
But they got 50. They got 50 games played, and you guys got 48.
Yeah.
So and that leaves you guys. If you guys win the next 2 games and catch up to 50, you guys are above them. I think because of goals for, right?
Yeah,
goals
it should
for,
be.
No, they're actually above you. Depends how the.
But even that, look how close that is. We're almost identical. Like, right? Yeah.
Yeah, so you could catch up to them, but it's either you or the Predators, because I think the other teams are probably going to make it. Well, you never know.
Well, that's if you're looking conference-wise. Are we going to win a spot in that? No, I see Dallas as a wild card, either 7th or 8th seed. And, even then, we're sitting on the outside right now because it's in Nashville at 60 and L.A. at 59.
Yeah.
But, we're at 56, and, Nashville's got 2 games more than us. The Kings have 2 games more than us, and Anaheim's got 4 games more than us. So, we've got that chance to pull ahead. Yeah,
so Stars Johan Klimberg remains in limbo. That's one of the headlines.
Yeah, because I don't think we know. That's what I told you. I think the first week we went ahead and did this. We said who was somebody we could see being moved, and I brought up Klingberg. He wasn't happy, and Fink had said he would do straight up a move for Klingberg, but I think because we are at that point right now where I said we're 3 points out of a playoff spot, do we wait? Do we really want to move him? Do we want to send him somewhere? And would that be the reason we don't make the playoffs?
Well, if you guys, let's just face it, if you guys send him somewhere now, you guys know you're going to take a loss on the deal.
That's what I mean. I don't think we want to do that. I think if we, let's say between now and the deadline, if we have a stretch where we lose 5-6 games and we fall down the standings and we go, all right, we may or may not make it, then I think we move him. But I think we're in the mindset we're going to make it. We hang on to him. And I really haven't heard much besides Toronto of people coming to him. I don't think anyone wants to take his contract. I know he's got a big contract as well. I think he's another $2.5 million player.
Yeah, and it's like Toronto, like to me, Toronto would have to be crazy to get him. I think
you'd have to give us something really good. I mean, I'd take Marner off you, but
hey. No, we'd give you guys Justin Hall, bud.
There you go, eh?
Yeah, real good. Yeah. Or Engvall. Yeah. Let's move on to the old Leafs Nation.
Let's see these Leafs.
So let's look at the Leafs last 5 games. Now they're not as remarkable as the Dallas Stars. We'll tell you that.
Of course not.
So we lost 5-2 to the Flames. We won 4-3 to the Hurricanes. We lost to Vancouver, which Flames and Vancouver should have won.
You beat Seattle.
We beat Seattle, whoopty. We beat Penguins, which was a good win, especially on the high that Sidney Crosby is running and the Penguins are going on. Right. And then we lost the Blues. And so this is my beef with this. The only one that matters to me, sure, we lost the Canucks, which is crap, okay? But the only 2 that matter to me actually are the Blues and the Hurricanes because they played what you call playoff hockey in that game, and we couldn't stand up to them. We couldn't handle it. And that's the scary thing about the Leafs right now is like, oh, sure, we'll float through the Kraken and the Penguins that were just kind of in la-la land because they're Crosby and stuff. But when we play against a team that is going through playoff hockey that has that mentality like the Blues and the Hurricanes played,
Flames.
We lose. Yeah, we lose. Yeah, we lose to those. And that's like the Blues played playoff hockey. As soon as they put some grit into it, where's their goals coming from? You know, and Matthews got hurt last game too. So, and if Matthews gets hurt, I don't know. It's over.
Well, that's what I mean. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, Toronto does not know, and this is my own opinion. Toronto does not know where their priority is going to be come trade deadline. Do you get like you said, do you need that forward depth?
I already said we do.
Right, but do you? But everyone's crying. We need another D-man. We need D-man. And
no, we need forward depth and we need defense. That's what I already said.
But you can't have it all. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, we can. We have players that we can trade. We have Jake Muzzin that's making lots of money.
Come on now, you don't have much you can trade. You really think people want to take on people like Hall and Muzzin and
dude,
that kind of stuff?
Hey, people want to get rid of players, especially the sellers. I seen Vince Carter get traded for nobody, and he was like the best bag of popcorn. Yeah, so it happens, It
happens, but come on, you have to be willing to give a little. You got to throw in somebody worthwhile in there.
Put him on Justin Hall. The guy's awesome.
You all said that too when you had Tyson Barrie, and how'd that pan out?
Oh no, Tyson Barrie is a buzzard, and he's still a buzzard. But, yeah. So like, what's going on here? Vaccination requirements for fans at Toronto. So I guess they're letting fans back into the games. Is that true? Have you heard anything on that?
Yeah. With the new COVID restrictions being lifted, yeah, pretty much fans are being allowed back into the arenas. But yeah, they're still doing.
But as a guy from Hamilton, like it would be sick to go to a Leaf game anytime you want because we don't live too far. People from Hamilton don't live too far from Toronto, right? The ACC or whatever, the Rogers Center or whatever it is.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, and but. Like, let's just say this. We can't go because it's too much money.
No, and we touched based on that last podcast. We said, like the days of having like even nosebleed seats of like $50-$60 and, pay $20 for parking, $20 for food, $30 for food, $100 night, $150 night has now become a $500 night. Yeah, it's not affordable anymore.
Yeah, especially if you have a kid. If you have a kid,
exactly. You're doubling everything. Minus the parking.
And well, especially like the kid wants a souvenir. And
exactly. That's what I'm saying. It becomes a $500 night easily. Food, souvenirs, magazines, all that crap.
And that's where I'd like them to take, especially the Leafs, because I know that's like the biggest hockey market. Everybody in Southern Ontario loves hockey, and they love to go to the Leaf game, whether you like the Leafs or not. You'd love to go to a Leaf game when your team plays against the Leafs, no matter who you are. And I think that's when jersey sponsors come in handy, so they can lower the prices at the venues. And that's what I think.
Well, exactly. And you know what? Look at why the Blue Jays sell out or every home game or close to every home game, because they do some type of event. Our Raptors, the other Toronto franchises, they do something so it's affordable. I mean, yes, Blue Jay games are still expensive. Yes, Raptor games are expensive. Yes, Argo games are, they're not as expensive, but they're still pricey here and there. But, because they do some type of event or some type of fan thing, they do the Jays do they do bobblehead night, and they do pets night and all that kind of shit, right? Like they do all that stuff, and they get, fans are willing to spend extra money, and they usually lower them too. What is it? I think Toronto, I don't know if they did them, but remember, I think it was a Tuesday night. It was like Toonie Tuesdays or something like that.
Yeah. Dude, I remember going, and you get the Kevin Pilar cape, remember?
Right, Superman exactly. Yeah, the Superman cape, right? Like stuff like that, but Toronto doesn't do, like the Leafs don't do that anymore.
Yeah. Cheers to that, mother. Yeah. But we'll look at the standings for the Leafs. The standings are quite, they're there. Leafs kind of blew it. They're probably going to stay third. I can't see them moving up or down. So they're going to play the Lightning in the first round, right?
As of right now, yeah. I mean, it could change, but
I want to say this. I want to be the first to say this. We've always had the first round where it's like, okay, we got this, and then we lose. And this one's like, okay, we play Lightning, we're done. I think we'll beat the Lightning, and I think we'll lose the next round. That's what I think. Because I think, and then they'll blow it. Because once we beat the Lightning, we won the cup. Everybody will go on. And then, whoa, we're going to go all the way. We just beat the Lightning. And then, we lose to the Panthers. Whoever. Hey,
what I'll counter you with that, and what I'll say when that matchup comes out and you have Tampa Bay, I'm just going to leave it at what time's tea time, because you're going to be swept out of those playoffs.
No, but mark my words. We beat the Lightning. We're out the next round, because everybody is going to throw the banners out and the parade, and the typical Leaf thing, and it's going to be finally you got to win, And
typical Leaf thing is blowing a 3-1 lead.
Leafs Nation, stand up, baby. But yeah, I don't know. I don't see anybody else doing anything in that
division. No, I mean, people might move up and down, but I mean, I don't think Detroit's going to make the playoffs. Boston could sneak in there as a wild card, but like as far as overpassing like Tampa Bay, Toronto, no, they'll sneak in at that spot there. I think that's how you see those standings, is how they finish.
Yeah, unless there's something weird happens in like Lightning or Leafs
collapse or something like that. I mean, it is strong.
I don't collapse. Yeah, I don't see anybody collapsing right until the playoffs, and that's usually the Leafs. So what do you think about Marc Giordano? Do you think that the Leafs? So we're talking about Leafs. Do you think that would be a good fit for him, because he has his bold buddy TJ? Or do you think he'll go back to Calgary Flames because now Calgary is in the playoff hunt?
I know Calgary is definitely looking at bringing him back in there. I mean, he's a long-term. He's been a long-term Flame, right? Like lifelong almost Flame. So yeah, I see him going to Calgary if he does switch. I don't think Toronto is going to make the move to grab him. I haven't heard too much of Toronto even having interest in him.
No, I know it's been buzzing around Leaf Nation a lot, but it's like I don't
see. Wise, no, I don't think he goes Toronto. I just can't see it. It's another name.
He said that he would love playing with TJ Brody again. That's why.
Right, but again, it'd be the money issue.
And let's just say this: so when you're Giordano, sure, you got the whole I'm a Calgary Flames player for life kind of deal, but you got this also. I'm old. And do I have a better chance with Calgary or Toronto? And when you're looking at the players, you're probably thinking Toronto, but obviously, as a Toronto fan, we all know that you could choke. But it's like, but as a player, you think, especially like when you think highly of yourself. If I went to Toronto, I could make these guys better. You know what I mean? And we could win because they have all the tools already. So do you think it's one of those kind of things that it could happen? Like he because you know how players like who wouldn't? Okay, let's just answer this. Would you rather go play with the guy Goodrow, or would you rather go play with Austin Matthews and Mitch Marner? You know what I mean?
Goodrow.
No, it's
Goodrow.
like saying no way. You'd rather play with Matthews. He's the best player in the league.
He is not. So you're trying to get me all riled up here, and I'm trying to be nice.
He is. He's clearly the best. Oh, we'll get to that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to bite my tongue here. But no, honestly, I think the biggest thing I'm factoring if I'm Marc Giordano is, like you said, absolutely. Do you want to go back? Where first of all, where do I have the best chance to win a cup if that's what I'm looking at? Is it Toronto or is it Calgary? Absolutely. My biggest concern going to Toronto would be, yes, I go there. Yes, it's a more, I'll put it out there, Toronto. Don't worry. I'll give you Leafs Nations, your props. I'll give you absolutely more talented than Calgary, player-wise, like offensive. But defensively, you have nobody there to help them out. And don't go there and say you have all these depth defensemen and people. Are you going to tell me you're going to put Giordano with Hull and Hull's going to hold up his end? No. Giordano might be there, but might as well be about power.
No, it'd be Gio and TJ Brody line mates again.
Right, but does that improve anything? Because then who's your second, third line? You know, you're putting all your less talented players behind that. You can't just have one superstar lineup. You got to split those two up. But then you look at Calgary, like I said, less talented offensively. So is it be going back there because I was always in Calgary? You know, Calgary wants me, so forth. And really, how far can Calgary get in there? Can they beat, a Dallas if Dallas gets hot? Can they beat a Vegas? Can they beat a St. Louis? I say no to all those teams. I don't think you can beat them because Dallas beat Calgary.
Yo, hold on. I gotta actually. This is an intermission. I gotta take a pee bad.
All right.
Yeah, we're back.
There you go. You're going to have to have one of those baggies strapped to you next time.
I know, like an Asian. This guy, eh? So we'll move on from the Giordano trade.
Bottom line is, if I'm Giordano, I'm going Calgary. I'm not going to
Bottom line, if I'm going to the Leafs because I'm going to see my old mate, and I'm going to play with the best player in the league.
Well, I ain't going
Alex Kerfoot is on pace to have the career year. So he's played with who you consider McKinnon and Landeskog the best players. Not me, because I think they're not going to do anything in the playoffs either, but that's just me. Alex Kerfoot is on so let's just say this. Him and Kadri got traded for each other, right?
Yep.
So they got traded for each other, and what happened? They're both having best years right now. Isn't that crazy?
Absolutely. Because, I never expected this, especially out of the two of them. Both, like you said, are having extremely good years.
Yeah.
Maybe Kadri a little bit more. I didn't expect him to do what he's been doing. So, props to him. I'll give him his due as much as I hate Colorado. But not to take away from Kerfoot either, because when they made the trade, I didn't believe in Kerfoot, because this was around the same time they made the trade with, Tyson Barrie, and you got burned on the Barrie deal. So, when you did the Kerfoot thing, I'm like, oh, great, here we go, another Barrie bust.
Dude, and as a Leaf fan, I was a huge Kadri fan. So
Exactly. A lot of people didn't like moving Kadri. The only reason I think you moved Kadri at that time were people were fed up with the suspensions in the playoffs.
And I think that's the softest reason ever. He was the only guy on the team with grit, and we get rid of that guy. He showed heart. I remember at the Raptors parade, Kadri said, "You know what? Next year's Toronto's time," and then they traded him right after that.
Mm-hmm.
And you know how he was like, because he's from Toronto. He's like, I live and die Toronto, and it's like when you trade people that want to die for the city and the team. I think that's the wrong move every single time. Every single time. I don't care if he's playing bad or good. If he's trying and giving 100%, I think it's the worst that you could do, especially if you're for the Raptors, it's the worst because you trade like a guy like DeMar DeRozan. And so we traded DeMar DeRozan. Sure, we won the championship. Now we're never going to win again for the Raptors.
Have faith.
And then we trade Kadri, another guy that, like, same with Leo Komarov. When we traded Leo, I was just like, we traded the only guy with heart. Like, what are we doing? Like, and it's like, what we want guys that play for their back instead of the front of the jersey. I don't know.
Well, no, and I get what you're saying but then again, you know what? Any person who's in the sports industry or whatever, they'll tell you it's always a business move, right? Or there's no hard feelings, or there's none of this nor that, blah blah blah. No, but absolutely, I'm 100% in agreement with you. When you have a player like Kadri, DeMar DeRozan, any player in Toronto, really, Leo, who give you everything they possibly can, and you're like, okay, thanks, and next day, hey, he's traded, he's cut, he's waived. It's kind of like, okay, what message are you really sending to them? And you know what? It's also, I think, a big reason why players, like the big name players, don't want to come to Toronto because not that there has to be loyalty because it is a business, absolutely. But it's sketchy.
Imagine this: a guy that gave everything to the franchise, and they move him. They're like, well, what are they going to do to me if my heart's not in it?
Exactly. Yeah. That's what I mean. I mean, as opposed to taking Leo or again DeRozan or anybody, Kadri, and said, hey, you got to tone it down a little bit. Your response is, hey, there's the door. See ya. Thanks for nothing.
And it's like, so like Matthews, that's why they're stuck in this position now. They got 4 players making half the wage.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and that's not good for any franchise. But we're moving on to Mr. Austin Matthews, or as we call him in Leafs Nation, Awesome Matthews. Oh my God. He hits 400 points and 372 games. You know what that means? That means he's the youngest player to do so in Leafs history.
Did that get you a Stanley Cup?
No, that doesn't get a Stanley Cup, but that's still good because we're coming up to another guy that's an idiot. Crosby, some sort of milestone after everybody else already has.
Leave Crosby alone.
I mean, congrats to that guy. He's a GOAT. But Matthews hits 400 points after 372 games. I think he's gonna. I think with goals, I think he's on pace to have lots of goals. I think he'll be one of the top at the end of his career. I think he'll be one of the top 5, at least top 10, top 5. I'll say goal scorers of all time. That's what, like goals, not obviously not assists and stuff. It's evident. Like half of his points are goals.
But I'm trying not to bash Toronto so much tonight, but you're making it hard.
What do you mean? He's actually the best since he's came in the league. He's the top goal scorer. It's not that far off. That's a fact.
But top 5 of all time?
Yeah, he's on.
You really think he's going to end there?
Yeah, when he scores more than 40 goals every season. What do you mean?
Because he's on Toronto. You really think you're going to keep him in Toronto forever? You know,
matter what
Sundin was going to be this amazing point getter, and
he was. He's our top goal scorer.
And look how he got traded, and where did he go, and how is the everything?
No, but that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter for personal accolades. This guy is going to be a top goal scorer if he keeps up like this.
But he's not.
He will.
He's not, because I don't think you're going to have Matthews much longer. I really don't.
No, I'm saying Matthews himself, not Matthews.
No, I know what you're saying, but
you're not saying that. Matthews
I am
himself.
because let's say
No, you just said that. Oh, he's a Leaf player, so he's. What do you mean? That has nothing to do with whatever
it does,
team he
because
goes
if
on.
he goes,
No,
let's say he get
no, whatever team he goes on, he's gonna score goals regardless.
No, that's where I was going with this. If he went to Arizona, let's just say he first, he went to Arizona. You can't tell me he's putting up 40 goals a game,
dude. If he goes to Arizona, he'll be another McDavid, scoring and never winning like a game.
No, I don't. Yeah. I think it's the talent around him. I think if you break up that trio of Marner, Williams, or Nylander.
Have you been watching the games? Matthews scored more.
I try not to dumb myself down and watch Leaf games.
Marner has been injured most of the year. So what happened? Matthews scored more goals without Marner. What are you talking about?
And now look at what's happened with Marner coming back. Who's getting the points? Marner.
Yeah,
Matthews may be getting goals, but he's not getting the points. Marner's getting the 3.9.
What are you talking about? I just said he's been getting goals without Marner.
No, I know, but with Marner back,
yeah, it doesn't matter.
Who's being more productive is what I'm saying, productive-wise. I'm saying who's being more productive?
Nobody. Marner. They both have been. No.
Marner's been more productive.
You're crazy. You're crazy. Matthews is easily the best player in the league. Easily. The best goal scorer in the league. Steven Stamkos even came out and said, Matthews is easily the best goal scorer in the league right now. He's like, that guy will be the first one to get 60 goals out of anybody else. And that's a fact. Even Stamkos says it.
Well, like 2 weeks ago, you were writing that Veechkin was the best right now because he's still putting up 40 goals this season.
No, I said Ovechkin's the best in history. The best
in
Ovechkin's
history. Putting up, 35 goals. What's he on with right now?
I think you don't listen right. You must be a Habs fan, bro. Because I said Ovechkin's the best goal scorer in history as of now. Doesn't mean anybody else can't come and change it, but I don't think he'll come and beat. I don't think Matthews is going to come and get more goals than Gretzky and Ovechkin. That's crazy.
Okay, let's change let's change the wording in this then. Is Matthews, because he's American, correct?
He's Mexican, yeah, American. He is.
Is Matthews going to be the best American?
Easily.
Do you think he's going to pass Modano?
Modano? Are you kidding me? He
bet higher rated than Modano?
Are you kidding me? If Modano's your shooting point, hell yeah. Is he going to get more goals than Brett Hull? Hell yeah. And Brett Hull's a Canadian. No, and he's a Canadian. And Brett Hull's a Canadian. Brett Hull's a Canadian that we didn't even want. That's why he's American.
Hey, Brett Hull got a Stanley Cup.
Where? When? With St. Louis? After
he's got the foot in the crease.
Yeah. I didn't say with St. Louis.
Get that ring, but hey, he got a ring. He knew what he was doing.
I don't know, man. I think he'll be easily the best American. Now, will he be the best European and Canadian? We'll see.
Got fired up a bit there.
We're going on to this one. This one's gonna be nice. Is Matthews better than McJesus? Hell yeah! I think McDavid. Okay, I'll be fair, McDavid. McDavid, I think, has lots of pressure to be the best ever. He has the pressure to be the next Gretzky, the best ever, the next Sidney Crosby, whoever you want to. He has a high
player out there, yeah.
And so, I think a lot of pressure is going on because he's never done anything to win with his team. He's never won I don't think he's won a goal scoring trophy either. Richard Trophy, has he? I think he's won the point. But the Rocket
yeah, usually he's winning every season. It's either him or Leon that win the points. Yeah.
Yeah, points, but goals. I don't think he's won goals, and and he doesn't get past the first round or make the playoffs usually, or something bad during the season. So I think it's easy to say that Matthews would be better, but I think because he's younger and and they're both they're both kind of in the same boat as it stands with the team success. They're both on the same kind of stool because it's like they score all season, sure. They score all season, but once it comes playoffs, what happens to the team, but at least the Leafs make it, and these guys sometimes make it. The Oilers.
Fair enough, all right. And because you gave McDavid, some do finally. I'll return the favor here with Matthews. Personally, I hate them. I hate them, but I'll speak, more not so judgmental. Is Matthews a good goal scorer? Absolutely. I'll admit that he has moves that he and plays he has no business making, and he can rock
like, Matthews is like the Avalanche for you. It's like, do I hate them? Yeah. Are they good? Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Word it that way. Yeah, absolutely. Can he lead? Absolutely. Again, kind of like you're saying with McDavid, can he be like a Gretzky? Can he be a whole type player? Absolutely. Just like Matthews can be a leader and be like the next Matt Sundin. Absolutely. And lead that team, 5, 10, 15, whatever amount of years or how much you can pay him for, right? Absolutely. I won't take away from the talent wise. My biggest thing as far as comparing McDavid and Matthews is, people are going to say Matthews or McDavid has just got an equally talented team as Matthews does because you have Leon Draisaitl there. You have Jesse Puljujärvi, whatever the hell you want to call his name.
You have Nurse.
Exactly. People are going to say that, but I still got to say you got to give the edge to Matthews. Kyle Dumas has given him more chances to succeed than McDavid. And I think with the way McDavid is, he's done more with the lack of opportunities.
No, I think McDavid has the world and he's in a quieter environment where he doesn't have the pressure. I think McDavid has the pressure in Canada, but once he kind of leaves Canada, it's like when Toronto travels everywhere, they sell out. Every city they go to, the Toronto game sells out no matter what city he's in. Right? That's a fact, right?
But so
that's the difference.
Let me put this scenario in your mind for a minute. Flip the two onto same players, but flip them onto the opposite team. Put McDavid in Toronto, Matthews in Edmonton. Do you still think Matthews is going to be the better player?
I think Matthews will be the better player. I just think McDavid, we don't have a goal scorer anymore. McDavid will be him and Marner will just be passing it back and forth together.
You shoot, no, you shoot.
That's how I feel with them. And it's like, this is what I think. Now, if you take this into consideration, Leon Draisaitl, if traded for Matthews, and Matthews plays on McDavid's team, a natural goal scorer with Matthews, I think Leon Draisaitl is good because of who he's playing with. But and Matthews is all around good. Imagine if Matthews and McDavid played together on Edmonton or Toronto, doesn't matter. Now, what do you think of that? Now, do you think that would be like a crazy combination, or do you think it like that to me? I think a goal scorer and the best playmaker has to be.
I'd actually prefer to do a Marner for Leon and see how that turned out.
Yeah, well, I think that'd be a bad trade. I don't know, because I'm kind of I haven't seen Draisaitl play anywhere else, so it's like same with Marner. So it's that's a weird one. I think that because I think Marner and McDavid are both the same kind of player, except for McDavid's better.
Well, at least you admit him; he's better, at least.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if we could trade I said this before. If we could trade Marner for McDavid and maybe like Riley, I'm doing it. I'm giving it. Give me it. I'd love to see Matthews and McDavid together. I think they would just work perfectly together. Even though that's crazy, but hey, we got Marner and Matthews. Why can't we? Marner's, Matthews, and Tavares. Why can't we just get rid of Tavares and? I know Leaf Nation's gonna be mad. McDavid, yeah. But I don't know. I'd like to see that. I don't know. To me, it's like this. They play on the same kind of team where they score a lot during the regular season, except for Toronto has better regular season success. That's a fact. That's not made up. And when they both make it to the playoffs, they both kind of fizzle out. And I think it's a case of this where the league lets them eat. Meaning they let them score during the regular season, but when they come playoff time, they shut them down because they don't know how to play against people that are actually trying hard, you know?
Right.
And that's where I see them both kind of on the identical level where you can have arguments either way. But to me, as a Leaf fan, I'm going Matthews. That's it. Simple. Yeah. And now I wanna show you guys this. Okay. So what's your take on all that? Then I want to pull this up. I want to get some time to pull this up.
All right, let's see it.
So what do you think about the Leaf? I mean, Marner and Draisaitl. You think that'd be a good trade, even?
Marner for Draisaitl? Yeah. I think Toronto, you have to throw in something else. I think you got to either throw in, even if you do a Hull or this is even say Muzzin for salary cap space wise, just to get rid of it. I think you do that because besides Darnell Nurse, I don't see Edmonton really being defensively too strong. So you may keep him, you may not. But I think you'd have to be Toronto would have to give up either do like a salary cap move or dump, or they'd have to throw in a pick. But that's my biggest thing, and that's why I say Toronto doesn't make the big moves because you don't have draft picks to give. You send them all away, and you have nothing left, and you can't even build up a farm team to offer prospects because who was their last good prospect? Pogge?
Yeah, so I wanna show you guys this here.
Oh my god.
So the rookies, we're moving on to the rookies, boy. You got it?
Yeah.
And hold on, I gotta find it here. Damn. So here it is. So the rookies. So we're looking at the rookies. So Zegras is obviously probably the favorite out of anybody, right? He's the guy that gets all the accolades, and he's the guy that gets all the fame, right? Right. He's the McDavid of the rookies, right? He's the guy that gets everything, right? So he has the second most points, which off the bat to me doesn't scream rookie of the year. But Michael Bunting, on the other hand, we traded him. Nobody knew who he was. He's a guy from Scarborough. We touched on him last time. And he has the most goals out of all the rookies. Do you think that he's as good, or do you think it's because he's playing with good players?
He's playing with the good players easily.
Because if you look at teams like Lucas Raymond and Zegras, they're playing on Anaheim and Detroit. Respect to those teams, but I mean they're no Toronto right this year.
No, exactly. But I don't even view Michael Bunting as rookie of the year. I actually do view Lucas Raymond as the favorite. I think he'll win it.
I don't think he'll win it. No, I think Zegras has too big of a name, and it's a shame because it's going off a popularity contest.
Exactly. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, it will be a popularity contest.
To me, it's the guy that gets the most goals. Points are okay because you can get secondary assists and stuff. I think the goals. This is how I feel with anybody. Whoever gets the most goals of the year is the guy, and I think goals are better than assists 100%. You can't tell me they aren't. Like you remember Gretzky for his goals, but his biggest feature is actually his assists. He has more assists than anybody has points. Right. But you remember Gretzky for his goals, right?
Exactly, yeah. But I view it the opposite way, which is I view it more as a points. I rather have a guy who's going to be a 67 point get every season than hope to God that Bunting can score 30 goals or every single season.
How about this? Okay, he's getting points, okay, but he plays in Detroit and they don't make the playoffs. Now he gets the most goals out of all the rookies, and he makes the playoffs. And maybe if they make a run on the playoffs.
But do you count the playoffs as a you don't count the playoffs?
No, I'm not counting the playoffs. I'm saying this: he made the playoffs, so that's the regular season goal, right? So that's from the regular season.
But
so his points ultimately didn't matter.
But they do because look who he plays for. You led on probably one of the league's worst teams.
No, but it's like this: when a lot of teams will take it easy and rest players and stuff against teams like that, Detroit. So
I don't think so. You didn't rest,
so, especially around the end of the season, for sure.
No,
nowadays
I don't think they do.
I think 100%.
Because you still want to play for you don't want to go cold and arrest everybody, and then everyone's playing like crap.
No, they don't. I never said they didn't rest. They rest everybody, but if you look at
all the end of the season, like if you're Toronto, you're gonna rest you're gonna rest Matthews and Marner and probably even Nylander, right? Like you're gonna rest some of those guys.
You're gonna rest. Yeah, you have to.
But it's then what happens if they're not in they're in this lackadaisical state that when they come back hey, I got a week off.
But to me, it's like this guy. How many assists does this guy have? So let's see this guy. So this guy has all the assists. Let's see all the stats here with all the rookies. Oh God, here we go. So hey, I just went to the same damn thing, eh? So this
technology
guy
is not your friend.
So this guy has you click it and it goes the same thing. So this guy has actually so the stats.
Well, there you go. Zegras has got what, 35?
38. So he has 1 point behind him. But the stat that I'm looking at is the goals because he's 16 here and he's still at 35. So he can still get the top points and the top goals. You know what I mean? Right. But the other guys can't. Like they have 13 and 12 goals or whatever.
Well, you never know. They could go on
they could score like 5 goals. Yeah, they could. You're right.
It's doable. Is it realistic? Maybe not, but it's doable. It's not like asking him to score 10 goals in 2 weeks.
Think about this. Zegras is a center, which usually you get more opportunities to score as a centerman. Yeah, so centerman, he's a centerman, so his position already is favored to get more goals than the other guys. So I think that leaves him out of it. And I'll go with you. I think Lucas, if they stayed like this today, the stats all stayed like this. Nothing changed. In the end of the season, we have to vote now. It's either Raymond or Bunting. I don't pick Zegras. And that's just what I pick. I think that he has a name, and that's all he has.
Yeah. That's why look at when he was in the All-Star game, right? Everyone was all hyped up because it was Zegras in the All-Star game. Yeah. So if anything, it breaks down to a popularity contest. Absolutely.
And that was the absolute awful. So
tell me how you really feel, eh?
Well, we'll move on to the NHL stats. I'll pull that up, obviously. So we got the NHL stats here. Let's see what we got here. We got Connor Mack. McJesus, my homeboy, my favorite player. Got him at 71 points, which is remarkable. Because how many games are we in?
We're on, teams are between 48 and 50, yeah.
Yeah, so we got this guy. We got 48 games played, 71 points. Then we got Jonathan Huberdeau, and he has 70, so he's not far behind. Then we got Leon Draisaitl, which is the 1-2 combination out in Edmonton. And then we got Nazem the Dream Kadri. And that guy's brilliant, man. I can't believe how good Kadri is doing. It actually, every time I read that, I'm like, damn, I like the guy too, but it just blows my mind that he and so like let's go to goals. So we got Leon Draisaitl, which he could get player of the year just based off goals and getting points. Like, do you think
absolutely.
Do you think that Connor McDavid earns that over Leon? MVP? No. I don't think
because look at where Connor McDavid sits right now, right?
Yeah, so then we got games played by Matthews is 45, and then Leon has 49. So, and we're only 4 goals apart. So, there's a handicap there with Matthews. That's why, as much as I want to say Matthews is going to get it, I mean, he could. Don't get me. Hey, Leafs Nation, he could. He could, but I just don't think so. Even though, I already told you guys my feelings about Matthews. I don't think he can. And just like so, and Ovechkin's too old. I think he has to slow down soon. He
has been slowing down though because, like I said, look at my boy Crosby. He's been racking it up now.
Oh yeah, Crosby.
There you go.
9 goals.
The golden child.
Yeah, Ovechkin's like, holy shit, you finally got 500. But I think with the points, so assists. Let's look at the assists. A stat that I always look past because I think when you have a sport that gives you 2 assists per goal, I think that just kills it right there for me for assists.
Right.
I think they should, even though I get it, the playmaking and all that deserves more credit, the unsung hero kind of. But it's like, dude, some guy just kind of puck bounces off the back of his helmet and he gets an assist. It's like, come on, come on, buddy. I don't agree with that. But we got Connor McDavid, and we got the Florida man up there, and then we got Johnny Hockey, and then we got Chris Letang. Can you believe that Chris Letang still producing like this? Jesus.
Oh, yeah.
Damn. And then we got Artemi Panarin. Remember how good Artemi Panarin was before he moved?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. When he was in Columbus, right? He was always racking up points.
And he's still doing all right, but he was doing better in Columbus.
Yeah, but the scary thing is, look at who is in 8th. That's a D-man right there. Victor Hedman.
Yeah, Victor Hedman. And how about this? Chris Letang is a D-man, 41. Adam Fox, D-man, 41. And then Victor Hedman and Roman Josi. And see, that's Leafs Nation. This is what this guy is talking about. He's not hating. He's just spitting facts. This is the type of guy that we're missing. These 4 guys. One of these 4 guys. We don't. It's like everybody's like, oh, we got Morgan Riley, and then Morgan Riley was the best. He scored and stuff. And it's just like, but it's like, dude, I don't think Morgan Riley's the guy. I don't know where this love for Morgan Riley all of a sudden has come from, because was it not a few years ago you guys were all claiming or calling for his head? You all hated him. Oh, dude, him and Marner, I wouldn't lose any sleep if they got traded.
That's what I'm saying. Like I don't.
You know
how
good players.
Very confusing to me.
Yeah, we could get good players for those guys too, and that's the way I feel.
Oh yeah, someone would still pay for you, absolutely. So like you said, would you lose sleep over Riley? Not likely. Maybe you lose 1 or 2 nights sleep over Marner, depending what you got. Yeah. But if you got a Quinn Hughes for say a Marner, would you cry about it? Absolutely not.
No. Well, I would like Besser and Quinn Hughes for him, but
yeah, but what I mean, it's not. It's you get a stud defenseman finally. Absolutely, you're not going to lose sleep.
Oh, dude, especially a gorgeous looking man like him. I mean,
Thank you.
No, but we'll look at the NHL standings. We kind of previously touched on our teams, but we'll look at the other teams so we don't feel
we're not collecting nobody.
Yeah. So we got the Leafs division, which is we already touched on it kind of, but Bruins. We already said this. We already said that whole division is staying the same, except for the bottom 4. The bottom 4 can attack each other all day. But we'll move on to the Metropolitan Division. So we got the Hurricanes, which I thought Penguins were actually number 1, but I guess Hurricanes have games in hand and they're doing better.
Yeah, Pittsburgh lost today, so so that was Cav 3 points, in hand over Carolina. They're running out of time to try and take that first spot.
And Penguins actually have the most games played in the NHL, actually.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
And so I think this division, maybe Rangers and Penguins can kind of
flip-flop a bit, yeah.
Yeah, but the other teams, Capitals will stay there, and I think Hurricanes will come out number 1.
And there you go. See, you said it there. Crosby's the better player. He's going to be going for another cup.
I didn't say that. No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. Nah, I didn't say that. I think this is what. So I was watching this Wilt Chamberlain interview. So they asked him, "Oh, what do you think makes Michael Jordan the best player in NBA history?" He's like, "He ain't the best player in NBA history." He's like, "How is somebody like him the best player in NBA history? He's won with a good team." He's like, "But I've have all these." He's like, "You can't count team awards with the individual awards." He's like, "That's just not makes you the best player." He's like, "Your team, you have to win with a team," and that's what I think too. I think the team is what makes you shine a little bit better. Wilt Chamberlain is a better player than that guy.
No.
Oh yeah, hell yeah,
absolutely not. MJ, the best player in NBA history all time.
Oh no.
The only person who's going to pass MJ is going to be Luka Doncic.
Oh no, you're crazy. Luka Doncic can't do anything, and he doesn't get any respect anyways.
Be nice now, here. Don't get me fired up again.
He's the next Dirk Nowitzki.
Absolutely, best German player of all time.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That like Dirk Nowitzki would not even get mentioned in the top 10 because
hey, Dirk's won some MVPs.
No, but that's what I'm saying. He does not get mentioned because I don't know. I'm not
biased. That's why.
Yeah, it's biased in the league, and I think it's really biased towards Jordan and LeBron. I think they both.
Well, LeBron should never be mentioned as a best of all time. LeBron never.
He should more than Jordan because Jordan only played on one team. LeBron's played on 3 teams, but that's different.
He basically cried to get his championships. I give respect to him.
No, but it's like this. Jordan, once he left, he didn't do anything. And that's the only beef I have. Same with Gretzky. You leave the Oilers, don't do anything. You leave the Bulls, you don't do anything.
But he went to Miami with Wade and Bosch and won the championship.
Yeah, but he also went to Lakers and won it with Cleveland too. So you can't say anything. And he won it with a guy like what's that guy that gave it away at the last second? And LeBron's like, "What? It's a huge meme."
Oh yeah, the big.
What's that guy? He's always stoned. That guy. I forget his name, but
he was like Sergio or something. It was some weird name.
But anyways, let's check out screw LeBron and them. Look, Karen, as they call him.
Good Karen, yeah. Oh yeah.
So we got the Atlantic Division. So the Atlantic Division, the Central Division. Atlantic is Toronto's. So we got obviously these guys got 198 goals for. Give me a break. You know.
Yeah.
Give me a break.
What 60 point or 60 goal difference? Yeah.
Yeah. You know, give me a break. They're good. These guys, we got it. So they're good. They're going to stay number 1, obviously. Number 2 is the St. Louis Blues, and they're like a team that's always been like you don't know what's going to happen with these guys, eh?
Right.
But they're hard-nosed, hard fighting, so they're probably going to stay there. Wild, I can't believe Wild too. Like this whole team, this whole division. It's kind of like do you think that this is the toughest division?
Yeah, I think it is because to me it strikes as the division everyone beats the hell out of each other. Like especially when they play each other, they don't have any second.
Do you think the Line trade screwed up the Jets?
Yes, but well, yeah. It's hard to say because he's never been the same since he left. So, but even before, he was kind of
ruined it.
I think it's hard to put it on one thing. I don't think it was just the move because he wasn't really the productive player the last year or so he was in Winnipeg. So I don't think it was just a move. I think he was overrated a little bit too much.
No, I don't think he's overrated. I think he just fell out of love with it.
Yeah, fair enough. You could rate it as that. Yeah, he may not love the game as much as he did. Yeah,
I think once like sometimes I remember when I used to play soccer and when I got to like a certain I just quit one day.
You just didn't care anymore. Your heart wasn't in it.
Yeah, and it's just and that's how I think. Why can't it happen with professionals? Just because, but I think he's just going through motions. Like I'm getting paid,
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, he doesn't care if he's made it. He's made the playoff a few times, and they haven't made it to the cup. So hey, I'll take the 10 million, and if I put up 50 points or 100 points or whatever it is, so be it.
Yeah, that's how I feel. I think this could be like even except for Arizona, obviously, but and I think that could be a big reason why Arizona is dead last is because of the division there.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like even with I'll even say being a Dallas Stars fan, I don't ever expect us to win this division, and I don't see us winning it until Colorado starts to lose the Mikko Rantanen, Kyle McCarr, those type of players.
Yeah, because Dallas, Coyotes Canadians have the least amount of points.
Yeah, they have 9 wins. Yeah. They won today, so 10 wins now.
10 wins, and Canadians have 27 points, and they have 28. So, yeah. So the Canadians are actually the worst. I was going to say, yeah, they're both bad teams, and same with Kraken. And obviously PK Subban's team there, the Devils. So the Pacific Division looks like Flames, which bolted out of nowhere. Now they're number 1, and then Oilers are number 3, and Oilers look like they're staying in the top 4 now. LA Kings, we got the Ducks that could catch them. They could catch the Oilers, but the Ducks have already played 52 games, and the Kings have 50, and the Oilers have 49. So they got games in hands. So then again, like I don't see the Ducks making it. And I don't see this division changing either, except for like the Kings, Oilers, and Golden Knights. They could all flip flop, and the Flames could actually tank a few games in a row too. You know,
right?
Yeah, this one's kind of open. That you know when you say it's like the group of death or the division where the hardest teams play. It works the other way too, where all the teams are kind of just below at like average, but they're all equally average. You know what I mean? Like this. All these teams to me look average. You're not too scared of these teams, but
no.
You said you wouldn't mention
it. But I don't know. But there it is, eh? I'm gonna
exactly right.
Damn. And then we got. So what do we got next? We got Stanley Cup predictions. Who's your pick?
Stanley Cup. I'm going to have to say it's a repeat from 2 years ago. I'm going Tampa Bay, Dallas.
Tampa Bay, Dallas. Damn, Dallas ain't even going to make the playoffs.
Oh, wow.
I'm going.
No, you got me mixed up with those damn Leafs. You know, you're one round and we're done.
We make the playoffs, bro. we make the playoffs.
You might as well not make them when you can't win a series.
And we get the participation trophy.
Yeah, you go ahead.
But I'll say this. I'm going Florida Panthers, baby.
Yeah.
I'm going to say we're bringing it to Florida. We're bringing it back to Florida, but we're bringing it to the other side of the city this time. Versus. I'm just looking at the prediction who's going to win. The other teams don't matter to me.
You don't have a clue.
I'll say the Avs. I'll say they'll play the Avs.
Oh, don't insult me like that. Don't just think any false hope.
And I'll say the Avs will get swept by the Panthers.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that.
Because they have this mentality like their shit don't stink, and then they come against the Panthers and bomb. Their shit stinking at the end of the day.
There you
go. So here's a little weird story. So Ian White used to be a Leaf from 2002 to 2015. I don't know if you remember. He's a D-man.
Yep.
And so he actually quit playing recently. So there he is for everybody that doesn't know Ian White. And he used to be people liked him, you know. His wife has now came out. Tess reveals some truly horrified details about what she and her husband experienced during his post-NHL career. This guy, so he got injured, right? And the NHL doctors actually prescribed him OxyContin, and he got really addicted to it. Yep. So it's kind of a sad story. And she felt that both the organization and the league let her husband go down in a downward spiral and get addicted and lose his life. Now he got sent to rehab, but he ended up breaking out in his bare feet and running to their basement and doing drugs again. And she tried to get him help. The NHL PA flew him out to rehab in Malibu, and the same thing. He tried to smuggle drugs in there and everything.
Right.
Do you think this is a big problem with the NHL?
As far as not supporting their players, like getting them help and all that sort of stuff?
Yeah. Especially through injuries and mental health.
It's hard to say, and it's not anything to do with it being a Leaf player and all that crap. Because the way I look at it is, once you're done with the league, I think you need to be grateful that they're even willing to do anything for you.
No, well, they have the NHLPA Players Union.
Well, yeah, but
when
maybe once you're done, you shouldn't even be. Even when you're done the league, like you shouldn't even have any. I don't think they owe it to you to have to even support you.
It's contractual though, so they have it set in contract that.
It's like they
supported for life. They're like
right,
when they get in trouble.
It's kind of like
especially. Let's just say this: you get injured at work, which he got injured at work.
Yeah.
That's why.
That's what I was going to say. It's like DeFasco, right? They take care of you it's like a package, right? We'll give you benefits for 10 more years after you're gone, right?
I think the NHL owes players more than they give them. That's what I think. Especially the NHL.
True, but what if you don't, if that player doesn't really want the help or, take the help, is that really the NHL's fault or are they really not doing enough?
You can say that about anything, though. Anything.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. But you can also say, so how much more does the NHL have to do?
Well, yeah, you still have to try. Yeah, that's the point. That's the point of the contract. You still got to try.
Yeah, exactly. If he had, we'll never know what was fully going on in his mind. But who says in White's,
well, let's just say this.
I wanted to do this.
Let's just say this: they gave him more drugs than he was supposed to have.
Absolutely, that is more than fair enough to say. He shouldn't have had as much as he did. It very well could have changed. But, the outcome of this whole thing.
And let's just face it, man. When it comes down to injuries in sports, they give you drugs to get you back on the field or the rink faster, man. And that's the way. That's
sports, Yeah, absolutely. For what they're paying you, absolutely. You better get your ass back out there as fast as you can.
And that's why you see a lot of people not doing good, like Junior Seau, Wade Belak. A lot of these guys go through stuff and it ends up in tragedy, And
absolutely.
And then, do I feel sorry for the guy? Obviously, you don't want to see anybody go through anything like that, especially his family, But can you blame the NHL and everything?
I think that's my biggest thing is you can't blame the league. Like say this is your fault. He's no longer with us, right?
Yeah, I don't think you can. I think the league is required to help him as much, to keep trying and all that, but I don't think it's their fault.
No, and that's what I'm saying is how much more can the league really do? Besides, like you said, limit the amount of drugs that you give them.
And the Ian White story is like, I don't know. It's crazy. I don't know. It's crazy. You never want to see. Who is the other guy, like Trevor Kidd or something like that?
Whoa, what was it? Boogeyman.
Yeah, Boogeyman. A whole bunch of players go through this stuff. A lot of players actually killed themselves. Especially yeah, he hung himself in a Toronto hotel. Oh, it's crazy. But we'll get out of that.
And I'm not laughing at that topic.
We'll get out of that one. But Brad Marchand versus Tristan Jarry. Now, this is what bothers me. Jason Spezza gets 8 games for a barely knee-on-knee in the playoffs.
Right.
Whatever, right? And this guy is the most penalized player in NHL history. He's over Chris Pronger now. And he's a repeat offender. Now, okay, this is incidents in the game. At the pregame, he slashes the goalie stick when he's trying to give a fan to the puck, which is funny. He's trying to throw a puck. The goalie's trying to throw a puck over the glass to a fan. Mm-hmm. And Brad Marchand comes to slash the stick to stop it. Right. Then he sucker punches this guy right there. That's a suspension. I don't give a shit how dangerous it was or nothing. You can't sucker punch people like that. No. And then this is the worst part. He sticks the guy in the face. He spears the guy.
He speared him basically.
And and this guy only gets a 5 or 6 game suspension. That's I don't. This guy is one of the dirtiest players in most recent years, and it's like he's not even and it's crazy to me. It's like I don't know. 8 games you give to Spezza, but this guy gets nothing. I think the guy should have got almost. I think the guy should have got the remainder of the regular season. It's like, who cares?
And a lot of people thought that way. They absolutely think they're like, this is what, like you said, he's most penalized or suspended player now.
Yeah.
And he got 6 games for it. And yeah, I mean, no Jared, Tristan Jarry didn't get hurt, thankfully, but absolutely it was worth more. And Marchand even appealed this, and he's like, I don't understand what I did. This was not worth 6 games.
That's like a thing in law. If you do that, that's called like disrespecting the law. Like you're going like, I don't see what I did wrong. I think you guys are high, basically. He's like, and then he appeals it. After he loses the appeal, he should get triple the amount, like a real real law. Yeah, in court. And that they didn't. It's a soft. It's soft. It's soft, and it's like Brad Marchand, Boston.
I think the reason it was so soft is because there was no injury on the play. Like, because Jerry was fine. Yeah, if he was seriously hurt, I think you would have got more. But I know what you're saying because it should have.
Why are you waiting for injuries to give people suspension?
Well, and that's the sad thing is, the league shouldn't be, but that's the way I'm viewing it. Is
so if that stick went a centimeter lower and hit him in the throat and almost killed him, yeah, I guess we'll do something. We'll do something now. If it screwed up his throat, I guess we'll do something. If it sneaks under his mask and hits his throat, I guess we'll give him 8 games now. I don't know. I think it's shit. I think if that's any other player, they're getting a lot. They're getting, especially like, dude, Spets the guy never hurt anybody in his whole career, bro. And Spets is like somewhat of a legend. He's not a Leaf legend, but he's an NHL legend. He's
absolutely.
Yeah. And so we'll move on to Tuukka Rask. Tuukka Rask says he's retiring because I guess his body can't handle it anymore.
Right.
And so we'll look at his accolades first. So we got Tuukka Rask. He's won the Stanley Cup as a backup. He has 2 All-Star appearances, 1 bronze medal. He won the Jennings Trophy. He won the Vezina. He has the 3rd best save percentage behind Dryden and Hasek. And some people, especially Leafs Nation, are saying that this guy is not a legend. So those are some of his trophies. He has a lot of stuff. But we're gonna go. I want to show you guys his save percentage too.
The only reason the Leaf Nation is saying that he's not a legend is because you had the chance to have him and you blew that.
And we picked Pogge instead. And Raycroft.
I'm just going to put that out there. If he was a Leaf, you guys be clamoring he was the greatest goalie of all time.
Oh, dude, I'm with that. I think that's like how they say, the girl that got away, that's him. Yeah,
exactly.
And if you look at the goalies, the best save percentage. So this is games over 300 that you can count, or games over 200. So look at all these goalies that he's played the 500. So Ken Dryden only played 397. Tuukka Rask played 564 and has 9.921. So that's crazy to me. I think just off his save percentage alone, he's one of the better goalies. He's one of the best goalies. And that what do you goals against and save percentage? That's what you go by, no?
When you're looking at a goalie?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I
think you have to look at, like you said, the goals against average. I mean, you can throw in wins there, but because you could have a Carey Price who puts up 50 wins one season, and then you could have like a season the Cabs are having now where they've got 10 wins, right?
Yeah.
But I think absolutely save percentage and goals against, absolutely, because I'll take a goalie who has like an above 900 save percentage and like a below 250. I'll put the mark at for sure. I'll take that as the mark.
If you look at all the wins. You got Martin Brodeur. Okay, Martin Brodeur is different because he played on a team that wasn't so good. He had Martin Brodeur, Patrick Waugh, Marc-Andre Fleury. All these guys have the best wins, right? And Tuukka Rask isn't there. They have the most wins, but then again, like games played, Martin Brodeur played 1,200 games. Patrick Waugh played 1,000 games. And these guys played way more games than Tuukka Rask.
Exactly.
So save percentage is what I would go by for a goalie,
right?
And because it's unfair because it's like this guy played 1,300 games and he has 691. but his save percentage is below Tuukka Rask. Same with Patrick Waugh. I think Patrick Waugh is the best goalie. I know you might disagree. I think him and Hasek and Brodeur are like equal.
Not Hasek, but Brodeur. Comparing Brodeur to Rask, absolutely, I could see the comparison there.
Yeah, Brodeur's a beast.
Hasek, I don't really. I don't see Hasek even as a top 5 goalie.
I think he's a beast. I think that guy played on Buffalo, and he's just like
right.
Buffalo.
And then he went to Detroit to get his cup, and then he said, "I'm out."
No, but it's like this: you played on Buffalo almost your whole career, except for when you went to Detroit the last couple of years.
Right.
It's like, dude, you went to Buffalo. You played on Buffalo, and you made it to the cup with Buffalo. I get my hats off to that guy. So who will win the Rocket Richard Trophy? And I actually got the players here that are leading
most
the race.
likely to win it.
Yeah, who are most likely. So we got this. We got Alex DeBrincat. We got we got Austin Matthews, Leon Draisaitl, Chris Kreider. We got Alex Ovechkin. We got Alex DeBrincat. We got Kyle O'Connor. We got Dylan Larkin. Dylan Larkin's a cool guy. I think it's between the first two, honestly. Matthews or Draisaitl.
Of course you do.
Who else would it be? Or Ovechkin?
I'm just saying you're not there praising Ovechkin. Of course, you got to go to Matthews.
No, but who else is it going to be? I think Draisaitl has an edge, and obviously, but I'd want Matthews to win. But I think Draisaitl.
I think you got to go with a dark horse here. I could see, yes, if you're going to look at right now, yes, okay, it's Leon or Matthews. But like you said, if they rest these teams rest players, it gives a chance for somebody like Dylan Larkin, Chris Kreider to sneak in there and get it.
But Matthews has been Mr. Consistent since he's been in the league. He's the most consistent player.
So now you're going up basing it off a popularity contest, though.
No, I'm not basing it off popularity. I'm basing off.
That's how the league's going to view, though. If we don't give it to Matthews, we're going to have a riot.
What he's done in the league for his whole career, he's been Mr. Consistent 1 or 2 goal scorer. That's
Mr.
what I'm
consistently missing the cup.
Yeah, no. Well, we're talking about Rocket Richard, so he's obviously in the title. You got to be retarded not to think that doesn't have a chance.
I'm not saying he doesn't have a chance. I'm just saying he's going to win.
Alex Ovechkin is Mr. Consistent through his whole career with scoring. That's a fact. So those two are never out of it. But Ovechkin is my favorite player of all time. He's out of it for me, unless he scores 6 hat tricks. But I think he's out of it. I think Matthews could give a run, but I don't see Leon Draisaitl losing it. That's what I think. I think Leon will probably win it again, and he'll be like, you know who gets this trophy? McDavid. And that's just like last time. Remember, he's like, they always praise each other, kind of. It's kind of
right
relationship. But I think it's out of the first two. Dylan Larkin, it'd be cool to see him win because it's like he plays on a team that didn't make it, and it's kind of an underdog story. I'd like to see him win, but he's at like 26 goals, and they're already at like 36, so it's tough. It's tough. And Ovechkin has 29. Matthews has 33, and the other guy has 36, I think. And Chris Kreider has 35. So it's hard. It's hard.
Right.
I don't know. I wish them all best of luck.
Because they're watching you from home, right? Thank you, Bunjo. Thank you.
Yeah, best of luck, guys. I don't hate any. I hope you all win.
There you go. Here's your participation trophy. You got nominated.
So next is, oh my God, congrats to Sid.
There's my boy.
Yeah, finally he does something.
No.
So here we go. So I got this up. So here we go. We got the NHL goal leaders amongst active players, people. So this means active players mean players that are playing today. We got Ovechkin, untouchable at 759. That's untouchable.
Right.
It's a fact. But we got Crosby at 500. Congrats. Hey, he did it. He did it, and that's amazing. We got Stamkos. He's an old dog. He ain't catching 500, I don't think. Joe Thornton, again, another old dog. Probably can't catch 500. And Melkin. I don't know. Melkin, maybe. I think
Maybe.
Melkin. Yeah, maybe, yeah. But Crosby, like I said, he's not a goal scorer. He's a playmaker kind of guy.
Right.
He's so this is a good look for him. 500 goals is a huge achievement for anybody that ever played the sport. And Crosby, 500, congrats, man. That's all I can say is congrats. And I know everybody's going to make the joke, oh, yeah, that's something Ovechkin did 6 years ago. It's like, well, you can say that about the cup that Ovechkin won then, you know?
Right,
Same
absolutely. Thing. You know, Crosby won what, 3 cups by the time Ovechkin won one?
Yeah, and it's like, and I'm a huge believer in to be great, you got to stay fit because staying fit is the hardest skill in the NHL. And so, because everybody will be using excuse, well, if Crosby would have played this and that amount of games, he would have been this and that. Well, newsflash, he didn't play that amount of games. That's the way the cookie crumbles, baby.
Right.
And so, like, skill and being fit is a huge attribute. So, I don't know. Good for these guys.
Exactly.
Now, all these guys on this list, who actually makes the Hall of Fame? They probably all do, actually. They probably all do. Except for the only guy that maybe you could make a case not to is Thornton.
Well, I mean, as far as that goes, the person I don't see on it making it out of that whole list, like the person I don't see who should make that list, really like the Hall of Fame, from what you've got posted there, is Veechkin. Where'd you go?
You don't see Mick Malkin on it?
No, I said Veechkin.
Oh, Vetch? What? What do you mean?
You said make it like they should all be like Hall of Famers, right?
Yeah.
Except for you. What you said, Thornton, right?
Yeah.
And I'm saying the only person who shouldn't make it is Veechkin.
How? You gotta be mildly. I was gonna say you gotta be mildly handicapped over there. Hello, is this
Who's this Veechkin guy?
No, I think the only case, I think all of them should make it, except for if you want to, the last guy on the ballot, the last guy to make it, maybe on his final year before he can't make it, is Thornton because he hasn't won anything.
All jokes aside, yeah, if anyone out of that list, yeah, it's Thornton who doesn't make it.
Yeah, and it sucks because I like Thornton, and you know it'd be cool, man, if you went to Toronto last year. Didn't make it. And they had a team. Like last year was, I don't care what everybody's like, that's the Leaf fans like, this is the Leafs year. No, last year was the Leafs years. I've made that point many times. I'm like, that chance to win the cup has sailed on you. I really don't see you guys coming anywhere close to the cup. And you know how good it'd feel if he went to Florida, a retirement state, and won it there a year after he lost it with the Leafs? You know? Yeah. You know? I'm a Leaf fan off into the sunset. Yeah, I'm a Leaf fan too, guys. So I'm just saying. You got my sympathy. Yeah, these guys are all like the Leaf fans will kill me. They'll be like, "You're not a Leaf fan. You're going against them." It's like, no, I'm just saying what real is. That's all. Yeah, realism. Yeah, it's like so. The next thing is Don Cherry. This guy turned 88. Yo, what do you think of Don Cherry? What do you think of Don Cherry? I love him. I love Don Cherry. He's the best, right? Like growing up, when you watch hockey, think Saturday Night Hockey, you can't wait. That's the only program you don't turn off at intermission. You're like, oh, I can't wait till intermission comes. Yeah, watch Coach's Corner. Yeah, and then Ron McLean, his longtime buddy, stabbed him in his back and got him fired. Yep. And said, he should have never said that. I didn't know he was going to say that. Yeah, and then Ron McLean's the guy that I wish that they would have got rid of a long time ago. I think the guy is utterly... He's a snake. He really is. And he's boring as hell. Yep. Yeah, I don't care how much hockey knowledge he has. He's boring as hell.
I don't even think he's got that much knowledge. I think he's fed off a lot of what Don Cherry's told him or taught him.
And whatever they're saying in his ear, too.
Well, yeah, say this, say that, say this, say that. Don't say this, don't say that. And Don Cherry's probably like, mute. No, I'm going to say this.
Yeah, it's actually a sad story with those guys. It's like those guys are like you looked at them like partners, best friends. Like,
and for him to hang him out to dry, like you said, basically, it was. Yeah. I'm not going to go down that path with you.
Yeah, he's like, and it's like he just said use people. Remember, Don Cherry?
Yeah, he did. He's like you people, and that's what the thing is. When I woke up in the morning, I'm like, everyone's like, oh, Don Cherry was so offensive, and I'm like, what are you saying? They're like, you people. I'm like, you know how many people walk down the street anywhere and say, you people? I'm like, does anyone punch anyone in the face? Does anyone, kill someone over it? Does anyone get offended? No, they're just like, what do you mean, you people? I'm like, Don Cherry said it, and he gets fired.
It was the absolute softest reason they let him go.
It's not like he said, the N-word. He didn't call anyone gay, anything like that. He said, you people, because that was probably the most politically correct way to word what he was saying, and he still gets canned for it.
And he's saying it off the top of his head too, and he's old.
Yeah, and then everyone's like, "Wow, he should have been off the air years ago because of his views and everything." I'm like, because he has his own views and you don't agree with it, he's to be off the air or fired because was he old school? Absolutely, but look at the team he grew up with, our coach.
It reminds me of that Jimmy Carr thing you sent me today.
Yeah, exactly. Like, everyone's so
now they get mad. Yeah, it's like
everyone's so soft over stuff now, or so butthurt over it.
And it's like, he's just saying, his truth. What's wrong with someone saying their truth? I don't get why.
Because you get offended. Somebody gets offended somehow.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It wasn't a homophobic remark. It wasn't sexist. It wasn't racist. He said, "You people." He did not say it to a specific group.
No, it was crazy to me. It's actually
it didn't make sense, and I just found it was any reason to get rid of him at that time.
Yeah, I think it was in the works for years, and they just use this little thing, and it's cancel culture, and it's just perfect timing.
Yeah, but as Mr. Potato gets canceled, then freaking Don Cherry can get canceled.
Yeah, that's it. What does this guy say? Fat win. Toronto smashing Montreal right now. Oh, tomorrow. So speaking of Montreal, here we go, buddy. Here we go. We got Habs rebuild. Should mean that Carey Price gets traded. Do you think that a guy like Carey Price, he's loyal? Right. Do you think the Habs as a franchise, as fans, should be like, you know what, Carey Price, you deserve better this at the end of the twilight of your career. You should leave just so you have a chance of winning something. Do you think that's
because I don't think Carey Price will. I don't think Carey Price will leave and play again. I don't think Carey Price plays again.
I don't think so. I think
he's done. Unfortunately, the way he's come on, so on a home losing. Fat win. Yes, I believe they are they won today against the Islanders, but they were in New York or on Long Island, whatever way. But yeah, I think they're still on a home losing streak. I don't think Carey Price plays again. And if he does, does he get traded to go somewhere else to kind of go last hurrah? It's kind of like we said with Marc-Andre Fleury. Nobody owes him that.
No. I think Montreal owes Carey Price that.
But look at the last legendary goalie they had.
I think the difference with Carey Price and Marc-Andre Fleury is at a team that he just went to and he has no history with. But I think the Carey Price has been with this team, and I think he deserves something. How many home games have they lost in a row? I think it's I don't know. I'll look at Montreal's schedule.
Look that up while I follow up your comment there. Well, no, what I was going to say is look at the last legendary goalie that Montreal treated. It was Patrick Waugh, right?
But that was over some crazy stuff.
When you get left in net to give up 9 goals?
So Montreal has won their last 2 games.
Right. But did they end? Were those last 2 games on the road or at home? I know today they won on the road.
Yeah, so the last game against St. Louis was at home.
Okay, so they snapped their losing straight at home.
So yeah, so their losing streak was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
We're talking on the road at home though.
Yeah, but these were 10 games in a row. They lost. Yeah, 10 games. So let's just say that 10 games they lost before the last 2 wins. One was away, one was home. They lost 10 games in a row. Yeah, so that's pretty bad.
But overall, no, I don't think Carey Price will play again. And if he gets traded, because we know Montreal is going to go into rebuild mode because they are probably going to lose Tyler Toffoli. They're going to probably lose what's that guy?
Toffoli's on the Canadiens. I mean, on the Calgary Flames. Toffoli's on the Calgary Flames.
Is it on the Flames?
Yeah, he just got.
Oh yeah, that's right. Sorry. Well, he was on Montreal a couple of years ago. Whatever, you know what I mean.
No. Toffoli he just got traded from Montreal to Calgary. Just.
Oh, did he? Oh, I didn't even hear about that. Okay, that's how it shows you how much I pay about the half. About the.
I think if what you're saying has some weight to it and it's true that Carey Price has played his last game in the NHL.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's done. I don't think he's going to go anywhere. I think he's done.
I think it's sad because even though he's a Montreal player and I'm a Leaf fan, he's a legend. He's a legend. And he was on a team that he stayed true to his team. Loyalty means a lot to me. And he stayed on a team that necessarily never had a chance of winning. And that means a lot to me. I seen it with Sundin, so I got to take my hat off to Carey Price. He did it. If he gets traded, hey, buddy, come to Toronto. And but I think he'd be actually. I'd like to see him on Edmonton, man. Edmonton, that'd be a great fit for him. Edmonton, I think. So far, every goalie mentioned, we've all said Edmonton because they need a goalie.
Right, but I don't think it would be Carey Price. If anyone, it's going to be Marc Fleury. Marc Fleury, or some backup like
Gregory,
Mazik, something like that. Yeah. I don't think Carey's going to go anywhere. I don't think anyone wants to take the chance he may not play because he's still under investigation or he's got the whole mental health issues and all that. I don't think he's going to come back. And if he does, what kind of mindset is he in?
Well, I think he still has a couple years. Yeah, that's the thing with his mental health. You never know where he's at right now.
Look at how many people were probably iffy on Evander Kane, right?
Yeah, but Evander Kane's a guy that I said that I wish the Leafs would have taken because I think that guy is going to be a difference maker.
Tell me every player he should have taken.
No, Evander Kane's a guy that he's a hard dude, and he's a guy if he respects the players around him, he'll do good. You know,
you got Wayne Simmons for that.
Yeah. Dude, Wayne Simmons and Evander Kane are not the same.
Sure they are. Neither do much of anything.
No, Evander Kane actually was the leading goal scorer for the Sharks last year, so he's really good. But Wayne Simmons is just a guy that's should be fighting.
Hasn't been the same since he broke his wrist.
Yeah, and that's a shame. Top 5 NHL fighters. So we're going to look at the top 5 NHL fighters, the stats and everything, boys and girls. Let's go. So most fights. So this is not the top. This is the most fights. And this is actually the other column that I can't get on the picture is the percentage of wins. And these are how the percentage of wins go. So Ty Domi and hockey fights, you can't really tell. It's all opinionated. So you can't, there's not like, this guy won, and it's a fact. You know, there's no fact in the win.
Unless somebody's knocked out and laying on the ground.
Yeah, so Ty Domi, which is the smallest guy on the list, he has the most fights, which is crazy to me. I never thought Ty Domi had that many fights.
No, I would have put him up there as the top.
Yeah. But Bob Probert, I thought he did. I thought him and Dino Ciccarelli, maybe. He's not even up there. Tiger Williams, he's old school. Marty McSorley, Donald Brashear. Now, let's just look at all these guys.
I'm just laughing because of look at the last 2 names and the history between those two.
No, when you look at these, okay, to me, Ty Domi is the Philly. That's his memory, right? Bob Probert, he was like the heartbeat of the Red Wings. That's his memory. You know, he's always a scary place. Just like Scott Stevens, when you go to New Jersey, you're scared to go there because of those two players.
Right.
Marty McSorley and Donald Brashear. You know. You know, that's it. You know, that's it. Yeah, you know, there's some foul play there, I think. Just like Todd Bertuzzi and the other guy. Oh, that's Todd Bertuzzi, right? Remember Todd Bertuzzi?
Oh, yeah, with Colorado where he chased him down the ice. Yep.
That was Donald Brashear too, no?
No, that was some no-name guy. I can't remember who it was.
Right.
Yeah, it was Todd Bertuzzi. Yeah. Todd Bertuzzi, because it's a Vancouver, Colorado game. Yep.
Yeah. So Tiger Williams is honestly too old of a player for me to
make an assessment of.
Yeah. So those first two, I would say I remember them the most. And Marty McSorley, I actually met in he was
before he did what he did.
Yeah, he was a number one line mate with Gretzky at LA. He's a hard nosed guy. Him and Lucky Luke and Gretzky, right?
Rapataille.
Yeah, and but Ty Domi obviously is a Leaf fan. This guy was incredible. Like everybody remembers the whole thing in the fan, and it was just incredible. You know, what do you think? Do you remember it? Did you like watching any of these guys?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, Ty Domi. Yeah, everyone remembers him for the Philadelphia incident. You know.
And he fought a lot of guys, and he was the smallest. He was the smallest.
Absolutely, he for as small as he was, he didn't have an issue getting in there and defending, you know, Sundin or any of them, right? Like he was there. He was. If there was a fight, Domi was in the middle of it for some reason, or chirping away. Yeah, you said, you know, Tiger Williams before my time, but you know, Marty McSorley, you know, he is who he was. You know, I don't. You know, I'm not going to get into the whole what he did and all that kind of stuff. But, you know, when you hockey base, absolutely, you know, like you said, being with Gretzky and Luke, absolutely, again, another player who was, you know, Gretzky or Luke got in trouble. He was there and he had no problem backing it up. And Donald Brashear, absolutely, a most recent player I remember watching growing up. And I love him. George Laraque, another one, you know.
The boogeyman.
That's the you know, this list alone doesn't even come close to touching, you know, the number of fighters that could be up there, just in general that were top five.
Well, they're going by this, the percentage of wins to the most fights.
Yeah,
that's what this list is. So the other guys, George Laraque, and that probably had shorter career years, so they didn't fight as much.
No, that's what I mean. Like again, like we said, like, you know, Laraque.
I think George Laraque would toss around Domi, maybe.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, for sure, absolutely. You know, there's
Boogeyman,
Boogeyman. You know, any of them. Like, you know, there were a few of them that would easily clock a lot of people on this list. Like, you know,
yeah, and like Tiger Williams, I know he is famous for always playing injured and fighting, getting pucks off the feet. You know, the hard nosed, old school kind of alcohol on the bench kind of guy.
No, exactly, and.
I think Donald Brashear and Marty McSorley could easily be replaced for George Laraque and Boogeyman. Easily.
Oh, for sure. Speaking of replacing, shouldn't Brashear be based off this fight thing? Shouldn't Brashear be above McSorley? Who taught you that?
But I think Ty Domi and Bob Probert are easily those guys.
Top like tier. Yeah, absolutely. They can't be replaced, really. Yeah.
Now, those guys are like, they'll never be those two guys in there. I don't think they'll ever be fighters like that again, to be honest with you.
No.
And
so the era of the fighter is pretty much done, I find.
It's done. Yeah, it's for sure done. There's no way. So we're going to move on to most overrated and underrated franchises. What do you think it is?
For most overrated, I'll give you the four main groups, which are NHL football, NHL football, hockey, or baseball and basketball. Football, I'm going to say New England Patriots.
gonna say my fucking team, Dallas Cowboys.
It's close, but I gotta say everyone is a Patriot lover because of Brady. Soccer. Sorry, one of those teams. I'll throw soccer in there. Chelsea. Everyone I talk to is either a Man U or a Chelsea fan. Baseball, obviously the Yankees. And then hockey.
I gotta
go Colorado because I can't. And basketball, I gotta go Lakers because I cannot stand franchises that buy championships.
Yeah, dude. Well, I'll say this for soccer. I'm gonna say City and Chelsea. I think they ruined the sport of soccer. I think what they did, they spent $300 million every window.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I think
when you
bad.
spend that kind of money, are you really that good of a franchise, or are you just trying to buy a championship? I don't.
And dude, let's just put it like this: after 2005, before 2005, Chelsea had no history of anything. Same with Man City. They became oil rich. Now they're that's not it. To me, I'll tell you guys this. This is going to sound biased as hell, and I don't care because Arsenal were always one of the top franchises since 98 to maybe last 5 years, right? But they never spent money. They raised players to be good, and they won championships. So
well, that's what I mean. I'd rather watch a franchise. Like that's why you have farm systems or farm teams. You draft a player and you have them grow in it. You don't have to go out and be a Chelsea and drop 200, 250, 300 million on a roster because, like you said, before the last couple of years, what had Chelsea really done? Nothing.
And I'll say the most for hockey, the underrated franchise there, I would say like maybe like a team like Nashville. I think they've always been there. And they never, they've always had.
They
like
just can't get over that hump almost. Yeah.
And good players, and they just don't have the publicity. Hey, and Leafs Nation, the most overrated. I'm not going to say it's Toronto. I'm not going to say it's not Toronto.
There you go.
I'm not going to.
I'll say it.
No, but I think Toronto, for the money they spent and the hype they have.
But you really don't spend money either. That's where I go back to that. You don't make the big trades. You don't.
No, we do because we can't. We have all our money tied up in 4 players. So that's where it's bad management, all that stuff.
There, Kyle.
Yeah, Kyle. I'm telling you, if Kyle doesn't pull it off this year, like I'm saying, pull it off. I don't mean obviously not win the whole Stanley Cup.
No, he's gonna win it this year. He's had more than enough time.
I think he has to make it. This is the very minimum.
I don't even think it's making it. It's win or bust this year again. And if you do not win it, you're out.
I kind of feel that too because this is what I think. I think you either if he makes it and they lose, they trade Tavares or Marner next season.
Oh, they're coming for you with pitchforks now.
And I think that's the way it is, man. I think if we don't win it this year, which wake up call, duke, knock on your head, guys. You're not going to.
I just don't think Toronto's meant to have it, to be honest. I'll tell you why. Look at it. You had what's his face as the coach from
think about all the other franchises in the last 5 years, they've all won it.
Right, but that's what I'm saying.
The only team that hasn't is the Maple Leafs.
Well, it was what's his face that was your coach for a while from Detroit. He couldn't do anything with them.
Yeah.
You had Babcock. Thank you. You had Sheldon Keefe can't do anything.
Oh, we don't know yet. We still got this year. It's his second year.
And you had remember the years of Brian Burke.
Yeah, but well, we can go on the list for days because we haven't won it since '67.
That's what I'm saying. But if you haven't won it since then, you're never going to. You haven't even come close.
You haven't
even come close.
Hey, I'll tell you this: You're a Cubs guy, right?
Yeah.
Anything's possible now, you know, right?
Okay, well, you got another 40 years or so to wait, all right? We'll be at the retirement home, I'll meet you there. We'll have a party.
And I'll say this, another for NFL underrated franchise. I've said this before. I said this is the most respected fan base in all sports history. Cleveland Browns. Underrated.
Frig off. I knew you were going that way.
Yeah.
I was going to say Cleveland.
And the most overrated for the NFL, I'll have to go with you. I'll have to side with you with the NFL. That has to be the Patriots. Has to be Patriot fans are the ugliest fans. Ugliest fans. Like not based off their looks, based off this and that. We're all Patriots fans. Like, do you even know where New England is? You know what I mean?
Right, exactly right.
Yeah. So this guy said
Everton.
Everton overrated. Only did well when Wayne Rooney played for them. Well, okay.
I don't put Everton up there as an overrated franchise just yet because
I'll say they're overrated. They've always had all this money spent. They spend tons of money every year. They just go under the radar because they never contend for a title. So that's what I'll say.
Okay,
I'll kind of agree with that.
That's what I mean. I can't fully agree on it. I don't discredit it either, but I don't put them any higher up than, like we said, like a Chelsea. You know what? Hell, I'll even put Liverpool up there as an overrated franchise.
Yeah. Oh, Liverpool. I forgot about them, man. There's Liverpool. These guys have such a pickle up their ass. They just won their first Premier League last year or the season before or whatever.
Yeah.
That was their only time they won it. So before that, they never won.
But that's why I go back to Chelsea, and this is not a knock on any Chelsea fans out there because everyone's gonna be, you just hate Chelsea because they win. We win the world. What they just win the World Cup?
No, they won the Champions League. To me, Champions League. I think the English Premier League title is the hardest title.
That's what I mean. That's what I've always told Fink, and I've told you. You do not mean anything unless you are lifting that English Premier. I don't care if you win the Champions League. I don't care if you win the FA Cup.
And you know what? A lot of people disagree with us. They think Champions League is the best, but I think fighting all year to win on the table in the English Premier League is the hardest trophy.
Big because it's the top. It's your top of the your creme de the top league. It's your best league out there, and it's like comparing it to the World Series, the Super Bowl, the Stanley Cup.
It's like saying this. Would you rather win the Stanley Cup or the World Championship of Hockey with Canada? I'd rather win the Stanley Cup. Hell yeah. It's harder. Like, if you're on a team like Canada, your chances of winning the World Cup of Hockey are huge.
Are 2-1 roughly.
Yeah, so it's like, what do you mean? How wouldn't you pick the Stanley Cup over that? You got to be crazy, you know?
Right. And I all these, like I said, all these other trophies like the FA Cup and all that. Yeah, that's great if you win them, but you know what? Who's got the most FA Cup wins? Arsenal.
Yeah. Arsenal, yeah. They have
who? Like I always throw in Mike's face. You know, who's the only team to go undefeated entire season?
Yeah,
Arsenal.
Ever.
Exactly. Ever. And no one says that Arsenal is an overrated franchise because we've backed it up. No team would probably claim again an undefeated season.
So let's move on to the next one. We'll go. Are athletes paid too much?
Depends on the sport, I think. I think there are some sports there.
I'll say no and no.
No? Okay, go ahead.
I'll say
this first. Go ahead.
Say no, because it's a supply and demand kind of business. So why would the owners and everybody get paid more than the players when the players are doing the work? I think as long as there's fans, people buying hot dogs at the games, people buying jerseys, they're always going to make this much, no matter what. Unless if it's like in the 40s where the franchises used to rip off the players and take all the money for the sales of the shirts and the tickets. And I think especially hockey, if anybody's getting overpaid, it's baseball and basketball, especially hockey. They get underpaid way too much. Hockey, 100%.
Absolutely. But what I'm looking at is the bigger contracts, like basketball. I don't think you get underpaid.
I do. They have 11 players on the team, right?
Yeah, a starting team. Yeah, it's 11 players. Five and then
they have 11,
5 backups, 6 backups. Yeah.
Yeah,
but
so they have 11 players on the team, and a a team like a football team has like what 21 or something.
Yeah, like
Defense and offense. So like that's the difference between basketball and every other sport is they only have 11 players and everybody else has 18 to 30.
Right, but you can't tell me that any player in basketball, like I'm sure you see them like come NBA free agency. You can't say a player is worth over 3 years $100 million. Like, come on, if you're not LeBron, you're not.
I think this comes down to any basic workplace. You work for a company, you're doing the work on the ground floor, you get paid the most. I don't care what anybody says. The manager, I think you get paid the most. I think because it's supply and demand. Like as long as there's going to be people, as long as there's
Messi on the decline. Yeah, I'll say yeah. He's not the same Messi that we've seen, but come World Cup, who knows? He maybe could be saving it come World Cup.
Obviously, the guy's 34. His career is pretty much almost over.
Hey, well, Ronaldo's still producing, all right.
Yeah, but the guy's a beast. The guy's different.
Who, Ronaldo?
But Ronaldo's different. His work ethic is just different from everybody else's in the world. Like this guy.
Does his dad? Yes, PSG next season. Yes, no, he's gone.
Yes, he does. He stays. Kylian Mbappe's leaving. Him and Neymar will stay together with all his friends. He'll stay.
It's all about this. Stay. What we're talking about right now is all about money.
PSG's the richest team. Yeah, he'll stay.
Hey, Haaland.
Yeah, Haaland's going to go to either Real Madrid or Arsenal.
Give it over. But
no, he'll stay at PSG for sure. He's best friends with all the guys on the team. He gets paid a lot of money. He loves Paris. Yeah, he'll stay, 100%.
We'll agree to disagree. I don't think he stays. I think he retires.
I don't think he retires.
I think he retires. I think he's if they go all the way, win, blah blah blah. He's got nothing left. Especially if he wins a World Cup this year. If he wins a World Cup, what's he got left to prove?
Yeah, well, no, I think if he'll stay because he likes playing. And I think after next year he'll stay one more year, play with his buddies, and then he'll retire in the MLS sometime down the road.
So you think he'll retire maybe 35, 36?
No, his retirement will be MLS. He'll go and play MLS to get paid a lot.
What, David Beckham and go like play in Galaxy?
Yeah, he'll play there till he's like 40, and it'll be easy for him, you know.
Or who's the other one? Henry,
Frank, Lampard, everybody, Henry, everybody, Drogba, everybody did it.
Yeah,
that's where people go.
But to finish up,
don't get me wrong, Ronaldo. I see. This is the difference. Actually, Ronaldo, will he go to MLS? He likes the spotlight. I don't think he'll go to
Toronto FC.
I don't think Ronaldo will ever do it. I think he thinks too highly of himself to put himself in a bad league.
Well, he put himself with Man U. How's that working out?
Yeah, but he's in the best league in the world. So he's playing. Yeah, but he's playing at the best league in the world. That's the difference between him and Messi. Messi went to a team that's playing outside of 5 best leagues in the world. So, and this guy went to a competitive league on a team that was on the decline, and he went there because of the patch on the front. That's it. So,
man, look at what's his face, Eriksson.
And Eriksson's back in the Prem. He's good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how it's going to go for him. Hopefully, everything works out and he doesn't get hurt.
Right.
You know, nothing happens.
But round out this question here. Bottom line is, yeah, I think I see where you're coming with a no, but I view it more as a yes because I think I told you a couple of weeks ago when Tom Brady retired. Over his career, I think a 14-year career, $500 million in just his contracts alone, another $250 million like endorsements, sponsors, everything. Come on now, like you can't. And I get what you're saying because you know if the player or if the fans view that as too much, because you always had the people saying, you know, how does an athlete get paid more than like a first responder? If you don't like it, don't buy the merchandise. Don't go to the game.
Yeah, no one's paying to watch a doctor save someone's life. That's the difference.
No, exactly. But come on, really? What was it? A-Rod signed a 10-year, $252 million contract. like really, that's what, $25 million a year. What the hell do you need $25 million?
I think people undervalue their self and their work way too much in society nowadays, and they let people like bosses run their life and make more money off them. And
right, but it's also the season. Like, okay, baseball, I can to a degree get it because it's 182 games. And let's say you blow out your knee and you never play again. Absolutely,
I think baseball is the softest sport in the world. I think baseball is the one that you get paid overpaid the most.
So are you saying LeBron, let's say he signed, just take it, don't even go by his accolades and all that. Are you saying that a basketball player
hold on, LeBron has 11 players on a team, right? So that's the least amount of players on one professional team. So to make it into that team, you have to pretty much be an all-star out of all-stars.
Fair enough, but even the players who aren't all-star, who are bench warmers, I see them getting contracts that are 3 years for like 60, 70 million, and I'm like, I don't even know who the hell this player is. Well, but it's just because I have all the everyone likes to use that mega max.
No, everybody that plays in basketball, you have to be an all-star to make the team because there's only 11 players on each team, and there's tons of
but they're you're not playing. Only 5 of those are playing unless you're fouling out or you need a break for 5 minutes.
No, but that's different with other sports. You have a lot of other players that come in and out that go to the minors and stuff, and basketball just doesn't have that simple. I think basketball.
I think athletes. I just can't. In my mind, I can't see what you need that much money for as in any sport.
I do. So let me ask you this then: where would that money go? Where do you think that money is going? To the owners? To the people that run it? Like, why would it go to them when these guys are producing? They're the face.
Absolutely, should go to the owners, but it should be monitored. Upgrades to stadiums, upgrades to get a better roster.
Yeah, you're crazy. You should never. No, it should never go to the boss. The guy that's putting the work in should get paid, not the guy that owns the business and be like, "Well, thanks every day." These guys don't even. They don't like. When you're at work and you're doing. You guys are like. So I worked at Steel Car. We were putting out almost $1 million a day out the door, and the guy's making, and we're making fucking
minimum wage.
Yeah, no, not minimum wage, but we're making like $150.
You know what I mean? So you're not making what you should be being.
Yeah, but that's how everybody is, and that's where I think basketball and baseball should set examples for a sport like hockey, because hockey is the most physically demanding, and yet they get paid the least. And that comes down, and that then again comes back around.
Actually, CFL paid the least.
No, but supply and demand. Not too many people watch hockey or CFL if you want to use it. As much as they watch a basketball or a baseball. That's just the facts.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's kind of a you can't change it. It's because it's like no matter it's just like renting a house. If you have a house in the ghetto or a house in a nice neighborhood, exact same house, the one in the nice neighborhood is gonna be worth more. Just the way it is. You got to move on past it. And I don't know. It's a hard one. It's like it's a hard one.
There's no right answer, I think, to this one, but overall. You view it as they're not paid enough. I view they're paid way too much. And
I think the owners are paid too much. They're rolling around in private jets and helicopters. Well, these guys are.
They own the team, of course they are. Look at the Stan Roque.
No, but look at it. Yeah, but look at it. These guys are putting their bodies on the line, and they have short careers. They only have a career that lasts maximum 10 years. So we'll move on to the next one. Barcelona.
Before we get fired up again.
Yeah. So let me just tell you guys this. So every Arsenal fan, and I wasn't one of these guys. I was a huge Aubameyang guy. I said Mikel Arteta is ruining this guy's career, and it's pretty evident now. Aubameyang played today for Barcelona. He started. And guess what happened, guys? He scored a damn hat trick, against Villarreal. So this brings me to this guy just scored. This is a league game, everybody. So we have 2 league strikers that made the team, which is Eddie Nketiah and Alexander Lacazette. Alexander Lacazette has 3 goals in the Premier League this season. Eddie Nketiah has 0. So Aubameyang in one game just matched both of our strikers in one game. Now, if this guy goes on and makes Barcelona compete in the Champions League spot and compete for the league and becomes a prolific goal scorer again, I think this alone deserves Arteta to get out the door. And I'm an Arteta guy. Who respects
for the pay? Check more. Tom Brady or or LeBron James?
Oh, it doesn't matter. They're both the same guy. Fair play to say LeBron James makes more than Tom Brady.
LeBron probably does make more, but that's because based off of endorsements. Brady doesn't really have any endorsements, and
yeah, basketball is bigger. He has his own shoes and all that.
That's what I mean. As far as who deserves it more, I got to give it to Brady just basically because Brady's got the more championships. And, LeBron coming out of high school and college, people knew what he was going to do. Brady was a 6th-round pick. No one knew anything, and a guy goes and wins, 6, 7 Super Bowls. I got to say Brady's worth every penny that he made.
I think they're both worth every penny. I think they're two players that you can't even –
LeBron, no. LeBron's a crybaby.
Yeah, well, that's
look at him.
I mean, he's still good.
No,
it's not like he's garbage.
No. Yeah, he's garbage.
Yeah, he's definitely not garbage. I mean, so Barcelona. So, what do you think? What I just said about that? Do you think Arteta, if Aubameyang goes on to kill it,
did Arteta ruin Aubameyang? Absolutely.
No, but he didn't ruin it. He just hindered him at Arsenal. Do you think if Arsenal fail to score goals, like let's just say this, they played after Aubameyang and they still haven't got a goal from their forward yet.
Right.
You know what I mean? And Aubameyang has 3. So if they continue, once they play Chelsea, Liverpool, and Tottenham, which is the last 3 games of the season.
Don't talk about the schedule. I'm not looking forward to that.
Like, do we have to fire Arteta because you froze this guy out. He went on to kill it in a different league. So everybody wants to say this. When a player goes to a different league, we need time to adjust. Well, Aubameyang didn't need time to adjust. So what are we talking about? So now, it's easy because you always need time to adjust, don't you?
I think it's where do we finish the season at?
No, I think if Aubameyang does good, that's enough to say see you later.
I think it's where do we finish the season at, and are we able to bring anyone in? If we can't bring in, let's say, an Isaac or Calvert-Lewin,
dude, we already had the right. We already had the right tools. You let go of Ozil. You let go of this guy. You let go.
Right, but we really didn't entertain. Let's just say Calvert. I thought Isaac. We probably did. Who was the other one?
That's what I'm saying. No, at the beginning of the year, so they already froze Lacazette out, but they gave Aubameyang away, so that's why they brought Lacazette in. Eddie and Kedia demanded to leave already. So they were supposed to let go of
Lacazette resigning with us.
Yeah, but they should have let go of Lacazette and Kedia before they let go of Aubameyang, but they did it backwards and let go of Aubameyang and kept these 2 busters.
Yeah, but
3 goals. This is 3 goals the whole season. 3 freaking goals. For a team, for an offense that has Emile Smith-Rowe, Saka, Odegaard, we have players that help forwards score, and yet we can't do it. None of our forwards can score. So who does this come down to? You're telling me this comes down to a forward? Every single forward, Aubameyang, Lacazette, Eddie, and Kedia, they all can't score. Why can't they all score? It's obviously because of the system we're playing and because of Arteta. The guy's a fucking
Arteta says trust the system.
Yeah, trust what system? That's what. I'm going to eat my words. If we get top 4 this season, I'm going to eat my words and be like,
that's what I was just going to say. But what if he gets us a top 4? Well, we're only 3 points out of it.
No, well, we're actually favorites to get it right now because we have 2 games in hand and all we need is a win and we're 4th.
But that's what I'm saying. If he gets us a top 4, are you going to still fire him?
Dude,
we're having one of our best seasons
in years. I think so. Yeah, I think I would.
Even if he gets you a top 4, you still fire him.
Oh, dude, it's not like it's a celebration. Man United have all the players.
They all celebrate a top 4 and not a top 10 finish.
No, Man United have been struggling. We've came in top 4 when teams have been struggling. If these teams were firing at all cylinders, we're done. We don't even see 8th place. We're like, see you later. That's just a hard fact. But then again, it's luck and chance and all that stuff. So, yeah, okay, you need to be lucky to be great. I understand that. And so if we're lucky this year, 100%, but we need to back them. Okay, we have no Aubameyang, we have Lacazette and Kedia. We need 2 strikers, not just two strikers. We need 2 strikers.
Fill all your roster.
Yeah, we need 2 strikers, not just because not just because they say strikers. We need 2 guys that are going to make a difference because we don't have any striker. We need a Holland at least, and we need an Isaac, or like if we get Isaac and Jonathan David, that's not good enough. Those two guys are not good enough. That's how I feel. They're okay, but they're not good enough. They're good. They're not good enough.
But be realistic too. We're not getting Hillan.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, who can we get then? What we're going after Calvert Lewin or Ollie Watkins? You kidding me?
I'm telling you right now.
But we're the Arsenal. We're not the Everton. We're Arsenal. We're not going after mid-table strikers. That's the problem I have. We should be going for Holland. We shouldn't be like, oh yeah, like you're dreaming for Holland. No, we're Arsenal. Why should we get them? You know, that's our mentality. That's where the club has changed our mentality as fans.
Because
we like mediocrity.
Because like we've been told, our owner does not care of what's happening here.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. And that's where all this stuff needs to go. All the owners, everybody. If Arteta is down with that and be like, yeah, okay, we Ollie Watkins will do. But we just had Aubameyang, the best striker in recent Premier League history. And you're telling me, oh, yeah, Ollie Watkins or Calvert-Lewin will be the good replacement. Like, get the hell out of town, buddy. You know, if you're down with that system, I'm not down with that. But Arsenal recap.
And we beat Brentford.
Yeah, we'll look at Arsenal recap here. So I'll bring up the screen of all the the table and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And EPL table. Well, I'm not gonna. So we'll look at Arsenal here. So where are we? Oh, West Ham. No, so this is actually So we got 23. So guys, don't get disgruntled. We got 23 games. So we got 3 games in hand. And all we need to do is win one, right? So points are right here. So we got 42. Tied with West Ham, we got 3 games in hand. So if we win one, we're at 45. And if we win 2 of those games in hand, we're at 40. Basically,
let's say we win all 3, we're ahead of Chelsea.
Yeah, we're yeah, but I'm saying this: Chelsea could drop because they're not playing good. Man United, I think Man United are the team that's the most dangerous because they have all the players. They're just not juicing and gelling together.
That's what I'm going to say. Pogba, like we said a few weeks ago, Pogba's back.
Ronaldo, Bruno Fernandes, like they got a balling team. So there's no reason why they can't do good. Now, I'll tell you this, as an Arsenal fan, if West Ham, the Wolves, or Tottenham become ahead of us, I'll be absolutely livid. I'll be livid as
I'm worried about Wolverhampton.
Yeah, I'm not worried about any of those teams. You shouldn't be. But like we have the least amount of games played, and we are above them. You know,
by 1 though. We lose a game we should win, and the Wolves win. They're above us.
No, if we lose next game, they have 24 games played. We lose next game, we're still above them.
But that's what I'm saying. We've lost that game in hand.
Yeah, but we're still above them. That's my point.
Yeah, but we lose next week, and even they draw, they're ahead of us.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying.
They have 24 games played, so we have a game in hand. So if we win the next game, that means we're even. We're even on games now. So now we look at the next game, and now if we lose the other game, then we're fucked.
That's what I'm saying. If we lose, we're putting ourselves at risk.
No, we only have to worry about Liverpool, Chelsea, and Tottenham game. And
you're jumping the gun here. I think we really got to watch those other 2.
No, we don't have to watch them. We should never have to watch them. We're Arsenal. We're playing Watford.
That's my worry. We're Arsenal here.
So we got this. So we got the Wolves next. That's going to be a hard one. Then we got Watford, which should be easy. Then we got Leicester, which they're not playing. They're mid-table team. Then we got Aston Villa. So Aston Villa is actually a team that bought a lot. So if they gel together, they could cause us problem. We got Liverpool. So Liverpool, to me, is an automatic loss. So one of those games in hand is gone to me.
Right.
Then we got Manchester United. We got Crystal Palace. And it's like we got to look at the other teams' schedules. Those teams aren't going to win all their games either. So we shouldn't be too worried.
April is our biggest month because, like you said, we got Crystal Palace, we got Brighton, Southampton, Man U, and West Ham. So
they're all
April. We got the 2 teams ahead of us in West Ham and Man U.
Well, they're not ahead of us. We're actually ahead of West Ham, but.
And then to close out the season, we have what? We have Everton, Newcastle, and Leeds.
No, but you got to look at this. We got 2 postponed games, which are against Tottenham and Chelsea. So those are going to be added on to the end of the season.
Yeah.
So those 2 games. So our 2 games in hand are kind of hard to judge by because we got Tottenham and Chelsea, and those 2 games could easily be losses, right?
Well, what we got to look forward to is next week when we have Arsenal's next game is, like you said, against the Wolves.
Yeah.
We blow that, our season's
done. Done. Oh, okay. We'll go on to the rivals, the enemies. Tottenham beats City, so they lose to Brentford, they lose to Southampton, and then they beat City,
the best team.
Yeah. You know what I mean? And I was like this. Oh, this
is
a
fluke win, though. Let's be realistic. 95th header from Harry Kane of all people.
Yeah, Harry Kane. You know, this guy comes back and all of a sudden he's a good player again. Who does Arsenal play next? I think we just said it.
Yeah,
we got old. Yeah. So I think Tottenham, when they beat City, I was upset. I'm not gonna lie. I was really upset about that because not only did they beat City, Man City came back, tied it in the last minutes, and then City came back. Tottenham came back and won it. You know, it was a hell of a game. It was a good game. You know, good game.
Absolutely,
good game.
It was a good game. I won't discredit the quality of the game. My thing is, one, it opened up the chase again. Like we were saying, Liverpool is now 3 points out of it.
Yeah.
2, friggin' 95th minute. Like I'd be less issue with it if it was like a blowout or if they had put this game away earlier. But I was watching it and I'm like, all right, I'm fine with the draw. And they come all the way back, basically, like you said, with the comeback and win it. Yeah, and it's just, as an Arsenal fan, it's frustrating to see.
Yeah, this guy said 1-1 draw probably with the Wolves. Hopefully not.
Hopefully not. If it's a draw, like you said, for us to get a 1-1 draw, we have to have our striker score.
Yeah. So we'll move on to West Ham's Mr. Ex Chelsea player, Mr. Kurt Zouma. What a scumbag this guy is, huh? This is my problem. So Mason Greenwood gets exiled from the league, kicked out of the league, and this guy gets to play, and all he gets is a fine. I think hurting a pet, like one of your pets, you're a pet guy, right, Davis?
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, if you've seen someone hurt their pet, like full out kick it, like a punt, that's to me that I'm a big guy where this cat is so innocent that you deserve jail time for that. That's bad. That's bad in my eyes. I don't think any kind of animal abuse is tolerated. If you think punching your girlfriend is not tolerated, why would animal abuse be tolerated? That's what I think.
Well, yeah, exactly. It's not like, I know some people are going to be like, oh, well, it's a cat or, it's an animal. It's not as serious as, like you said, slugging your girlfriend or your husband or whatever in the face. Yeah. It's absolutely the same. Absolutely. Yeah. It's a different, not that they're defenseless, but, like I got a dog. I could never imagine myself punting or kicking or punching my dog in the face.
Let me ask you this. Well, let me ask you this. Your dog, you're probably the same way. I bring my cat. I brought my cat from Canada to Croatia to Argentina. Right. I look at my cat as my kid, my family.
Absolutely, they're family.
If somebody touched it or kicked it, or I would lose.
Well, I see 10 shades you're red. Like I'd be going to jail.
Yeah, that's what I said. I said if someone did that to my cat, not only did this Kurt Zouma kick a cat, full of punt it, he did it in front of his kids, and it was his kid's pet. So that's another reason why he should be gone from the league.
Absolutely. Like when you showed me the video of it, I'm like, what the F? Like seriously, like what the hell went through his mind that he thought this was okay or joking matter?
Funny. Yeah, like
he's laughing throughout the video. I'm like, really? Like you just like the Mason Green thing was a week ago, and that's what you do, and you don't think anything's going to come of this? Like, I don't know if you saw it yesterday. But you see what the Newcastle fans were doing, eh?
No.
They've got inflatable, like the vendors there. They were selling inflatable blow up cats.
No,
sold him. Yeah,
I
they had these
didn't see that.
cat, almost exact same color of the cat he punted, and they were selling them at the game.
Dude. Oh, dude. See, me as a guy, I'd hire a player I'd be Mr. Coach Payton on this one. I'd hire a dude to come on the field and just take this guy's career away. That's what I would do. I think this guy is a scumbag. He deserves nowhere to be seen by a soccer field ever again. I don't care how you look at it. He should be exiled from the league, especially a league like the Premier League. I'm disappointed with West Ham for only giving him a fine. Get him out of there. Get this guy out of here. It's not too late. Do it now. You know, that's what I feel.
I think.
We'll move on. What?
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I just think the overall bottom line is the league is not taking this as seriously because it's not like, I mean, it is, maybe it's different over there. I don't know the whole friggin' laws and everything like that as it is back here.
Oh, it's the same, animal cruelty.
I was going to say, if it's like a felony or whatever, I don't know if that's the league looking at it. They're just not taking that seriously because they're just like, hey, it's a pet, whatever,
Yeah, but that's disgusting. It's like it's not just a cat. This is a part of his family. This is his cat.
And like you said, to do it especially in front of your kids, what kind of message are you sending? Yeah.
Oh, dude, it's terrible. Yeah, we'll move on from that. That guy, Kurt
they will smoke leads. Yeah.
They will
smoke at the bottom. Yeah, absolutely. It will blow out. Well, actually, sorry, I will rephrase that. No, we won't because it's Arsenal. It's a team we should beat. We won't beat them.
Yeah. Serge Gnabry, he used to play. He grew up in the Arsenal academy. He was an Arsenal guy. They let him go to Bayern Munich, became a star, and he said. The reporter asked him. They said, "Would you ever be interested in going back to Arsenal?" He said, "That's a dream move of mine to go back to Arsenal if I ever left Bayern Munich." Obviously, as Arsenal fans, we'd love to have this guy back. He's a baller, but like he said, if he left Bayern Munich, he's not leaving. Yeah.
Well, the thing about him, from what I was reading this morning, like when we were talking about what we were going to discuss this evening, he's actually, don't be surprised, he's saying he's worried about going forward, how much he's going to get paid with his contract, and 2, his position with Boehner. So if he's not worried, don't be surprised, especially if we're kind of staying flat. Like if we play the same kind of window we did at the transfer window, he could very say, hey, Arteta, I'm ready. I'll come back to you. And that could be Arteta's saving grace. If Arteta goes, okay, we'll bring you back, that would be, if we don't get the Haaland, the Isaac, the Calvert-Lewin, any of those names, if we bring him back, that will be the only thing that saves Arteta's skin if we don't finish top 4 or,
Yeah, it'd be a beautiful story, that's for sure, I think. Imagine that.
I could see him coming back overall.
If he came back, we still need a striker, though. Still don't have a striker. But I don't know. I think we're injury away of being in a crisis for Arsenal. I think we're short in midfield.
I think we're in a crisis now because, like you said, if our strikers have 3 goals combined throughout the season, and we really have nothing, we're in a crisis.
Yeah, that's it. Well, that's a fact. Lacazette has 3 Premier League goals. Eddie Nketiah has 0. That's wild. That's wild for.
And you were happy to keep Nketiah.
Yeah, and sell Aubameyang, the guy that has 9 goals for our team still in the Premier League, and apparently he had a bad season, but the other 2 guys had good seasons. What are we talking about? Yeah, 3 goals combined. Yeah. That's my beef with that. It's like everybody's on Aubameyang's case, but it's like it's because we expected so much from him because he's been doing so good for recent years.
Right. One bad year, and that's it's the end of the world.
Yeah, and it sucks. That's the life of a professional athlete, So, but we'll move on to this guy. So what happened?
Good question. So as far as this goes,
who is this guy? Yeah.
Alvin Kamara, my boy. Oh,
He plays for New Orleans, right?
yep, running back for New Orleans. So, like we were talking about, it was actually our last podcast, Pro Bowl weekend. So, night before it goes out to the nightclub, and they're still trying to get all the stories straight because everyone has a different story, right?
Yeah, he's having fun. That's all we know.
He's, Kamara's out there partying it up with his friends and everything like that. And supposedly this random guy comes up and starts beef with them. So, they meet him up in the elevator and proceed to basically give him a gang beating.
Damn.
And, like I end up finding out and messaging you later on in the week, guys basically crying, they broke my eye socket and everything like that. And now Kamara's under this, gets arrested for basically felony assault. And, more is coming out, it seems, a little bit here throughout the week of what's going on. Like they've arrested everyone who was involved in it. Kamara set bail, obviously being an athlete, but they're all like, what was this all over? And Kamara's like, well, he pushed one of my guys, so I jumped in there and, beat him up or, joined in. And I'm just like, between what we had Mason Greenwood, we had Zuma, Kamara, all within a week. And I just thought, like, to myself, like, what the hell is going on with the world that 3 athletes who are in the world, like seen in the world, and you're all beating either animals up or beating the crap out of each other for what?
Yeah, or women. Like, it's just terrible.
Yeah, one is a random guy who has no idea who you were. One's your girlfriend, and one's basically a defensive animal. Like,
yeah, it's crazy. These are guys. It must be in the water. That's crazy.
And I just at that time, like when I found out about the Kamara thing, I'm just like, why? Like, what is wrong with everyone right now? Like, it's just sickening.
It's wild. It's bad, but it's like Kamara is like the one that's the most unforgivable. I mean, not most unforgivable, most forgivable.
Right, exactly. Because, like I said, with the stories going on, there's not been too much said of it. So who knows? It could be like we said before, like kind of with the Mason Greenwood story. I'll say this, and you pay me $1 million, and then I'll be like, oh no, that didn't really happen.
Mason Greenwood's going to jail for sure.
Yeah,
poor guy. Nah, just joking. Not poor guy. Beat a woman. So Super Bowl halftime performance, best ever in my eyes. Yours, not so much.
No.
What do you think the problem was? They thinned it out, or what? Too many artists?
I don't think it was too many artists. Maybe I had false hope of, growing up, like it was like who we grew up with, right? Like high school and even before high school, we grew up with these artists. And well, when I watched that trailer you sent me of it, right? Like before the Super Bowl, like you said, oh, you see the trailer of the Super Bowl halftime. So I went to watch it and I got so freaking fired up for it.
Yeah.
And I was sending it to people. And I'm like, this is going to be, balling and everything like this. And then I watched the halftime show and I just thought it was nothing special. I thought it was very lackadaisical. I think it was, I really expected Eminem to drop his, bring out the whole Marshall Mathers persona, Dr. Dre. Nothing special. He's very fat and old.
I think it's the best halftime performance ever. I think all the other ones were terrible, like Lady Gaga. I don't even know. I like Weeknd's one of my favorite artists, and it was just.
I preferred The Weeknd last year's Super Bowl with The Weeknd. Yeah. I preferred that.
It's not me. I think the problem was if it was just Eminem and Dr. Dre, it would have been better. Or just Eminem and 50 Cent, it would have been better.
Yeah, I think you're saying maybe too many artists?
I think, because I think they all have to do their popular song.
Right.
So that's the problem where it's like he did Lose Yourself, which was okay, but it's like Dr. Dre,
Still Dre.
Yeah, and it's like and then you got Mary J. Blige. I think when she went in the middle of it, she kind of just killed it a little bit. But I think if you take out Mary J., the other guys did really good.
I don't understand the point of 50. Well, I do, obviously,
Yeah.
the whole history, with Eminem and 50 and Dr. Dre. I get that.
I thought it was a pleasant surprise. I just don't think they executed the whole stage. Maybe I could see that where it wasn't as the stage was weird. Kind of it was like some sort of cars.
The thing that like when I was watching it with the wife and with my daughter, she brought up a good point. My wife, she was watching it and she said, why do either whether they be extra dancer or fans, she didn't know what they were. I didn't even know what they were. She's like, why do they look homeless? Because they were wearing like those brown paper bags on them, right?
I think that's because it's LA because they have the homeless epidemic going on.
Okay, well then that's our.
Yeah, they got their fashion from the streets, baby.
There you go. I looked at him like I don't know.
I think what a lot of people don't understand is most of it was a political stance.
Yeah, that win. Yeah, that's true.
Always find trouble in elevator.
Ray Rice punching his girlfriend in the elevator.
Yeah. So we'll move on from the halftime performance. It's 50-50 down the road with a lot of people. A lot of people loved it. A lot of people hated it.
To me, it just was not a good Super Bowl. I would have.
I think with guys like you, is like you had so much expectation that when something doesn't reach it, even though it might almost reach better than other thing, it just when it doesn't reach your expectation, it's so much more of a disappointment.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. I think from watching the trailer, I just thought this thing was going to be like blow it off the top. This was going to be the greatest. Yeah. And like I said, like the week, I honestly. I thought
the weekend was a word.
I like the weekend, and it's not the fact he was Canadian. I just thought it was well done, and everyone said, "Oh, well, they have diapers on their faces because they had the mask thing on." but the weekend thing I loved, and probably overall, like we were talking about before, like we've had like what was it? Bon Jovi's been there, Prince, Lady Gaga, J-Lo, all of them. Probably still off the top of my head, probably best halftime show I've watched lately. Probably Prince.
No, I thought they were all bad. I think they're all bad. I remember I got the chance to watch Bruce Springsteen. I didn't go though.
You were saying you didn't really find that great.
No, but so Joe Burrow, is he the nicest guy in the NFL? I watched a video of him during the Super Bowl congratulating everybody to making it, saying, "Oh my God, I watched you growing up as a fan. You're amazing." Do you think that this guy is a real deal nice guy, or do you think he plays it up for the camera?
I'm just really nice comment. Who was the last? That was Ray Rice. Ray Rice was the one who beat up the girl in the elevator. It was his girlfriend.
The Baltimore Raven guy actually murdered a guy and got away with it.
Oh, that was Ray Lewis. Ray Lewis was the other one. Yeah, Ray Lewis was the one who did the murder, and Ray Rice was the one who beat up the girlfriend. Honestly, the Who had the best show in Creed. Right? the Who, yeah, I could give you the Who. Creed, not so much.
No, the Creed. I think this guy's messing around.
But as far as Joe Burrow goes, absolutely, I love the guy. He's the most polite. I've watched him on post game interviews, pre game. He's a quarterback, and everyone sees the quarterback as the prima donna and high paid player. But this kid's like 22, 23. He's already blown out his ACL once, and this kid almost won the Super Bowl, and he didn't sit there on the bench and was he disappointed? Yeah. Absolutely, he was disappointed. And I don't blame him to lose a game in the last 2 minutes. Absolutely, it was probably
on a team that nobody had winning.
No, exactly. This guy almost pulled off the improbable, and it was like I told you just before you left. That guy who made that bet, he missed out on $5 million in 2 minutes.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But Joe Burrow, I think from any player right now that I've watched, most nicest guy. I don't think you're ever going to see him blame another player or teammate and say, "Hey, this is your fault." I think
he's the most deserving player. Yes,
to win it. Yeah, and he'll be back there. He'll eventually win a Super Bowl.
And so we're moving on to the next guy. So this guy was a
Jackson Miller. Yes, he did. Yes, he did keep Mahomes out.
Joe Burrow kept Jackson Mahomes. Jackson, eh? Mr. Jackson. But Stafford, do you think that this guy is a
Is he a legend? Absolutely not.
Yeah, like
you can't tell me he's a legend because he won a Super Bowl, because he didn't even win it himself. His defense came up big on the last drive to keep Cincinnati away from a field goal to send it overtime. Yeah. Absolutely not.
Well,
he's not a legend.
How about this? He played all his years in Detroit, right?
And he did nothing.
No, but that's what I mean. I'll say this: you play in Detroit, you ain't setting no records or nothing. You ain't doing nothing.
No, exactly, and that's what I mean. He's not a legend.
You got to give it to him. He stuck around on a team that was absolutely garbage forever, and still is.
I'll give him credit. He stuck around. He could have pulled a Calvin Johnson or a Barry Sanders and be like, "I'm out, peace, retiring." Yeah, but you know what? No, he's not a legend. He's not even a Hall of Famer in my eyes. No, you're not a Hall of Famer.
No, the only thing, like, I could see if you went to like the Bengals and won it. But
no, not even then. No.
Yeah. No, you got to give it to him if he goes to a decent team and wins it. But you go to a team that basically pays for everything. Like they're a stacked ass team, man. So everybody doesn't really love Ray. I don't think so, man. I don't think so. But it's Stafford so. I think that if you win with the Rams, I think it's like going to like Tampa Bay and saying,
"Yeah, that's what I mean. It was a stacked team." So no, you didn't win it. You didn't win based off just you alone. That team traded for 3 or 4 key players.
Now let's just say this: if he goes on and wins it 4 years in a row, yeah, okay, easily.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He comes back and wins another Super Bowl, then have the talk: is he a legend or a Hall of Famer for sure? But based off this one Super Bowl win, no, he's not, and he's not a Hall of Famer.
No, exactly. That's how I feel too. So back-to-back home teams win Super Bowl first time. How do you feel about that?
I hate it. I always like seeing it at a neutral site.
So I wanted to get, before you answer that, because I wanted to get into this question. Do you think that if the home team makes it, that they should relocate cities, or do you think they should pick the city after the 2 teams made it?
Are you saying should they change the way that they host the Super Bowl or decide to host it?
Yeah, because if a home team makes it, that's unfair automatically, right?
Yeah, and that's what I mean. I was going to say it's not a neutral site really, but they make they decide on who hosts the Super Bowl like years in advance. Like you can't really. No one could have predicted LA was going to be in the Super Bowl this year when they probably had LA as the location 6 years ago, right?
Yeah, but it's like. I don't know. Do you think that?
Because what if you play them in the regular season anyways, right? Like if you play them already in the regular season, you're playing in that stadium anyways.
And it's not like this. Okay, let's just say the 2 teams make it. You have 2 weeks to prepare for the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah, like they both have the same amount of time to prepare.
But no, let me know. I'm saying this to be the host. You don't have just 2 weeks to prepare. You have you prepare almost the whole season for the Super Bowl.
Right, but who's to say that team even makes it? Really?
No, but
you could host the Super Bowl and be the worst team in the league.
No, but that's what I'm saying. If the team that makes it hosts the city that hosts it, the team makes it to the final. Should. You think 2 weeks is enough time to change the location?
No, I don't think you need to change it. No, I think that's just the way it happens. They want to do it that bad because to them, the team that's hosting the Super Bowl, it's incentive. Yeah, hey, if we go all the way, we're going to have the home crowd with us.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and the bid for it is years ahead, just like any sport.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, they bid it for years ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, obviously, it's like that with soccer. It's like that with everything.
That would be dope, or they did it that way, though. Yeah, there's too many logistics in it. It'd be like Joe said.
What do you think about this? Hosting at college places, college towns.
No, because you can't hold as much fan base.
Yeah, you can. You have stadiums that hold more in college.
No, but you can't hold enough. You can't have the same type of hoopla. You can't have the fan interactive events and all that kind of stuff. No.
Yeah, you could. Easily.
Pay to play.
Yeah. Pay to play, baby. But that's all the topics we have, actually.
And then what was the other one? Cooper Cup was amazing in the last drive. Yeah, as much as I hate Cooper Cup, yeah, he was great on that last drive. The Bengals should have covered him more. He would have been focal point.
Yeah.
I do have one topic that I thought of as we were doing the American colleges could support it. Depends where you go. You're not going to get the University of Buffalo to host it. You go to Michigan, yeah, they'll host it probably, or Ohio State. But nobody wants to go to those places. Nobody wants to go to a cold place to have the Super Bowl.
Dude, hey, I'll tell you this: people are crazy for football. They'll pay for any ticket anywhere, buddy. If they go, and of course, a place like Miami and stuff.
Yeah, sure. Big five or major ones, yeah, for sure, absolutely. They're
American college kids support it 100%. College stadiums are bigger than regular stadiums, man. Some of them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, if University of Buffalo thinks they're going to hold it, no, they're not going to hold it.
Dude, Alabama, roll tide, baby. Dude, why not? Why can't Alabama? Why can't Bama hold it?
It has to be shared for every state, in my opinion. Yeah, as much as I just said that nobody's going to go Cold State, absolutely, I'd love to see a Super Bowl like in a New York or something. I'd buy tickets to go.
Wouldn't you love to see it in Alabama, Mississippi?
No.
Why?
Absolutely not.
Oh, dude,
because college football is more of a thing there than the NFL.
What?
College football is more popular than the actual NFL there.
Yeah, but dude, let's just say this. Where do all these college players go? They go to the NFL, baby. So imagine that. It's at their school. These kids get to see this, It'd be nice for the community.
Right, but then it boycotts the whole idea of, like you said, of let's say friggin' Trevor Lawrence plays in Clemson or, pick a player from Florida. If it goes back to Florida, then he's got the advantage because, hey, I played here for 4 years.
Yeah, and State would miss out on hosting in that way. It's hard. You can't. You obviously we know that you can't change it within 2 weeks of the Super Bowl final. Obviously, that's impossible for any sport.
You want to do it?
Yeah. What?
Joe's trying to make rules as he goes.
What do you mean? How am I making rules? I just said you can't change it. That's impossible. It's years in advance. You can't just change it. Hypothetically speaking.
What I was going to say before we got all bombarded here was my one topic I was going to say to you, wanted to bring up because we're so close to it. Worst, I got to take one more shot at them. Leafs Nation, worst trade ever in Leaf history.
Obviously, worst. What do you mean worst trade ever
for the Leafs? Worst NHL for the worst Toronto Maple Leaf trade they've ever made.
Andrew Raycroft.
That's what your point is? Or your trade is?
Yeah.
You're not gonna go with Lee Stepniak.
Lee Stepniak?
For Colin.
For who?
That was
you froze. What was that?
You're not gonna take the Lee Stepniak for Carlo Koliakovo trade as the worst.
Well, at least I would trade Andrew Raycroft and Tuukka Rask, or we picked Justin Pogge over to those all that whole combobble was the worst ever. We got Andrew.
Or the chance you missed out on Roberto Luongo.
Dude, we missed out on Vincent Lecavalier for Nick Antropov because we thought he was the best player ever. So it's like we sure every team probably has the ifs and ands, but these guys, that Raycroft, like why did we get Raycroft? That guy was dreadful. But like Lee Stepniak, of course, Koliakovo, Alexander Steen, all those guys they left, and those guys ended up killing it. Well, what's the other guy? The guy that went to Nashville. What's that guy? Little guy, Steve something. Oh man. Oh, he ended up killing it too at Nashville, and it's like, oh man, it was bad. We had a lot of trades, especially John Ferguson era. Dude, you can go down a list of bad trades.
Well, I'm just saying because, like I said to you, as far as I had said, Leafs don't make big trades or anything, and it's no wonder why. Because look at who they like their history of the trades.
That's unfair to say Kyle Dubas is John Ferguson Jr. John Ferguson Jr. is one of the worst people in history for GMs in history. The guy's a fucking bona fide boner.
Okay, let's go back 10 years.
Yeah.
What about when the Leafs and Anaheim made a trade? Toronto got Anaheim's first round pick. And they took Tyler Biggs. And who did Anaheim end up with? John Gibson and Richard Raquel.
Yeah, but you gotta look at it like this. These trades are like sometimes when you're trading prospects, you don't know how they're gonna pan out. So it's kind of a gamble to take them or not take them. That's what I feel. But I think like when we took Gustafson, that was a bad deal. We took a lot of players that were bad deals. You know, when we took, sure, people love Eddie Belfour. Like people looked at Eddie Belfour as a savior for the franchise, but it's just like you can't. That's too much pressure for a guy like that. That guy was over his, like not over his best years, but pretty much he was. You know.
But that's what I'm saying is you guys get the big name players when they're past they're past their prime.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Yeah, but that's the least. But the last couple of years, we haven't made too bad decisions for trades.
You've made really bad decisions.
Who? I like Kerfoot. Sure, Kadri's having a hell of a year, but that's okay. That's good for Kadri. You know, Kadri's the only one that I wish. Like Zach Hyman, everybody. I remember before Michael Bunting. We're getting Michael Bunting, and we're losing Zach Hyman. And now look at it. Michael Bunting's okay. Zach Hyman sure is okay still too, but he's always injured. He's not. I don't know. We'll see. I think obviously if you look at it from 67 on, all the deals were bad. Yeah, it's just the way it is. Like you can't lie. But like the best trade of Leafs history was the Sundin one. That was my favorite trade. We traded Sylvain Lefebvre for Wendell Clark. And Wendell Clark came back and he didn't do anything, but still people think that he was the best captain ever after 1 year of being a captain.
Yeah, get them all fired up again, though.
Get them all going. Let's go, baby. Get the whips out. No, I don't know. You got anything else there?
No, I was just wondering what you like I said, with us being
that's a surprise question and caught me off guard. But the first one I could think about is Andrew Raycroft. That one bit us in the ass for years, especially with Tuukka Rask. Could have Tuukka Rask, and then we trade Justin Pogge for this guy. You know, it all worked out. Like we traded the Tuukka Rask pick for Andrew Raycroft. Tuukka Rask for Andrew Raycroft, basically.
Well,
that's where I think it's bad.
Well, I mean, like people still think that the James Van Riemsdyk trade was a good payoff for you guys, and I think it was one of your worst.
James Van Riemsdyk, but the guy only had 2 years left in him.
Right, but yes, you got rid of Luke Shen, right? But hey, I would have kept on to Shen before I got JVR.
Well, I think JVR was pretty good for us. I think he still had 2 years left after he left the Leafs. I think he didn't get a fair shake with us either.
He killed any franchise he went to. That's why.
Well, he did pretty good, man. He's pretty good. He's a guy that gets injured though. He gets injured.
That's what I mean. Like, look at him now, right? Yeah. Or after he shipped out, he kind of even when he came to you, he was kind of damaged goods.
Yeah, dude's a picklehead. Yeah, he's like Crosby, like Eric Lindros. You know, all those guys are going to be like pickleheads. They're going to be. They can't spell their own names.
It's going to say, "Who am I? Where am I?"
It's like, would you like to suck on my popsicle? You know that guy. That's gonna be all these guys at the old age home, 40. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot. You're right. There's absolutely tons of Leaf trades that are bad. You can go on for days. How many Leaf trades are bad? Yeah. But the one that stuck out to me is the Andrew Raycroft one. That's the one that I'll always remember.
The one that got away, as you put it.
Yeah, it's just bad. It's like I feel like writing songs about love about that trade, you know. But that's what it is, you know. I don't know what else you got there. You got anything?
No, that's
dude. We did 3 hours and 20 minutes. We caught up a little bit. We still got lots to talk about. I'm sure I just had a day to prepare these questions, so it's like because I just got back and we had a day to prepare everything together. So like next week we have a whole week now, so we should have lots next week.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and we'll hey, we're here now. Hey, come get us, baby. I don't know, but it's out. See you later, boys and girls.
You are now tuned in to Dumb Jobs Sportscast.